At least next Friday, dear. Ejapa yesrewa. Papa mi husu sabrea yesi kwansu ayekwe. We see yembusa na de be my yembom na obebie. Enti anope yebom. Yebusa. Say yashasie. Wa woni mun kra brabo. Enkra brabo. Enti yempai bo bibia ide tawchi anope ni se erade na ankasa nso embo eye movement bia wo ye bia enafie wombo movement no ho ban ma na onto ni hire nsuo engusu na bibia enko kama need 100.9 Ghana muntie na mansanya so adawroko fiaman homene so ejiji tonton sansan ewo need 100.9 FM anope ekwakwem se de bonkrata no dodo na obi akra eka Ukraine so Ukraine oman foforo ewo Europe na ubeka se bia abrochire we men eni sebi ohina no nti we no enhyeda mfa ho batefa ho papa esanse ne ekoso wo ye Ukraine no eye enya de papa eye ntokwa o mashasi se Russia for no makwa akoshe sa ntokwa yase na senior utimi fotumi wa oroka wa free entimi ka se de Russia for o madwan se Ukraine o man no betimi abom omso mu Ukraine o man no mo ntia se so mo ye independent omso mo koje aboso eno o mashesa ntokwa yase na ntokwa yase ase na woyire ya ye nyina petrol tobi na kobane sa bibise nhyase pe na wiasa fa na nyina omo a womde oyire ekoto bi ne asu enya bi ne ade na obia hyase e de ne die sie e chance onim se oke okono ba be si no wo mo be hia oyire ne ade ntia no so kobane sa ade na tese oyire boy ba be koshoro asisi a wehu bebi a petrol bo no enam na eno no so no ya ede ohaw bebre na die chi na de beba Ghana muntie Ode sampabo Kasiabo Kowakata wansa Amaya se Kwesi ABOAGYE Onye yimu Nukretrodo Kamadine men kamadine bo Nitafe Mumayentie Kwesi ABOAGYE 100.9 Ukraine my munsu Ghana de hye bi honum say titru yenuanum bi honum say yemma and me ka say nra bako Mr. Tego First State Cross any message out say se ne bu fase na ne busuani bi honum say so ye onya ntete so ba be doctor na omo so omo ho akyeron papa Ghana school for no ma hyase wo musu ebisi yenkofo omo mra nra say wo hwe ye ne course wo ye mra se bedwemu a dom kuma no kra hyase a wo mo edibaye womo minority leader hyase ka kire aban se womo enkofa Ghana de hia womo honum sei enfamra Ghana na Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration and normal de krata epie krata no min kan na kwabna mbomadi anchichi man so was released actually yesterday Accra 24th February 2022 says the government of Ghana has noted with concern the deteriorating military situation in Ukraine which directly impact on the security and safety of our nationals, including the over 1,000 students in Ukraine. The Ghana diplomatic mission in Bern, Switzerland, has urged all Ghanaian nationals in Ukraine to limit their movement in public places as they obtain essential goods and to remain in their homes or move to government places of shelter. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration wishes to assure the general public of its concern, and particularly our compatriots in Ukraine, that all efforts are being made to ensure their safety and security. Our diplomatic mission in Bern and our honorary consulate are directly engaged with relevant authorities in Ukraine in an effort to secure the safety and protection of Ghanaian citizens there during this difficult period. NTWAFI Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration. Come on.
Abusuafo adia awafa kwesika ye ana ewahe trate aya Minister of Foreign Affairs Regional Integration ana omu di pie omu sa yanka mamo enkran 24 February no omu di baaye Ghana ban ate de mo kanyina ana de ekoso wa Ukraine no nso omu ahunu sɛde asogyafoɔ akɔ ase Ukraine foɔ so a omu nom wɔ mu na saa deɛ yɛ a ɛkɔ yi no ɛba no bambɔ mu a obi ani asomdue wɔ hɔ Ghanafoɔ yɛn nso yɛka ho yɛwɔ adesuafoɔ student bɛyɛ 1,000 yɛ a wɔn nso esua adeɛ wɔ hɔ enti ɛka wo nantu a na aka wo to na Ghana diplomatic mission a ɛwɔ kwesibo kuro ne di wɔ se ɛbɛnɛ ɛno yɛ Switzerland ɛwɔ Ghana de sie bi wɔ no paa enti monsa mo yie tituru paa wa mo mpiepie nkwa mmɔntene so monsa dɛm ebetumi kura nka mompɛ nnuane bebree na momfa nguo na mmom sɛ mobetumi nso kura nka mmeammea bi a ɛyɛ aban dea no mobetumi adwane akɔ hɔ na moakɔ akɔbɔ mo ho agyaa Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration ɛpɛ sɛ wɔka kyerɛ Ghanafoɔ nyinaa titiriw mo a ayɛ mo dadwene ne sɛ wɔn gu so yɛ ho adwuma especially Ukraine hɔ nom Ghana ade se ɛwɔ hɔ sɛ wɔn bɛbɔ wɔn ho ban wɔn bɛnya bambɔ a ɛyɛ soronko na obiara ho nkɔka na wɔn gu so ɛne wɔn consulate edi nkitaho sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a authorities ɛwɔ Ukraine no effort bi a wɔn bɛtumi afa so akwanya bi akwaniasa bi a wɔn bɛtumi afa so abɔ Ghana de se ɛwɔ ho ban a obiara ho nkɔba asɛm ɛwɔ saa bere yi a ahometesɛm ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ Ukraine wɔn bɛyɛ ne saa pɛpɛɛpɛ ɛde ama MONTIE Ghanafoɔ monka makoma ntum yam.
Now, Ghana esikufoɔ ɛwɔ yekuo wɔn kubata National Union of Ghana Students NUCS na wɔn ɛde krata ɛde aba abɔnten statement on Russian-Ukrainian territorial conflict, safeguard of Ghanaian students studying in Ukraine and Russia. Enti omokrata no yankinkan kakra say in recognition of the geopolitical turmoil in the Ukraine-Russia region, the National Union of Ghanaian Students by this communique calls on the government of Ghana to accelerate efforts in ensuring the safety of all Ghanaian students studying within the region. As conflict escalates within the region, governments of countries across the world are prioritizing the evacuation of their citizens from the area to forestall harm to their citizens. Currently, a number of students have fled the region, showing growing insecurity and fear among our students. Some of those students, including chapter executives of NUCS in Ukraine, have touched down and made contact with the National Secretariat of NUCS, advising that urgent steps be taken to ensure the safety of their colleagues still in the region. As a mother body of Ghanaian students, the safety of our students remains our permanent concern, hence our advocacy for this line of action. We believe that the model used for the evacuation of students from China at the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic will be adopted in this instance as well. We are thus asking for the evacuation of students from the eastern province of Ukraine, which is the present nucleus of the conflict, and out of Russia, as the country may pose an overall hostile environment to our students. Students may be temporarily resettled in the western province of Ukraine, which remain calm at present, or most preferably out of the country altogether and back home till a resolution is reached on this crisis. We hope our call receive favorable consideration and look forward to working with the state government in facilitating the process. Enti nuksufo mpenifuo nso Pius Theophilus Bedu and Julius Kwame Anthony and Yadon Boachi Mano mpenifuo na wase ku aboa mo amse na
jo Ghana de siafo akabumuko no mpenifuo na atwe nkrata edi aba amo akire mu se yehwe amanyosem nchiwahyewa asoriye ewo Ukraine Russia fo entem no a amo Ghana Union aya de siafo koyi ede to abano anim se ni manimu ye wonya ne ntem na Ghana fo ewo no musua de ne yemo mo ho ban wase aman bebremu aman penifo ahyase eyi omo nkrofo free wono mo eno enti no adihu ni suo kakra aba eti de omo ka nyane se penifo betu anamontem wase Ghana eye nukes ni nkrabata wo Ukraine penifo ni bi abafie omo ni omo abekasa chechire mu se ukọ oman no epu eye famu de wono mo de Russia fo na age aboso enti ehu papa de Ghana fo betimi aye ne se ebia ombetimi adwane ade aba atoya famu ehwono mo de eye kakra enti se enye sanso de ne mpinifo nya ne ntentem de enyu omu frɛ kopum ebra enti wahyew entokwana no ebebrase amo se anamontu aban tu ye ebra coronavirus yi ni ti ewo China memuo na wode Ghana de hye no bae no aban no tu sa na mo no abi ewo Ukraine memu na wo ma Ghana de suafo ewo no musua de no emrafie amoto aso biem akirekire mu ano mo ese obi ni baabi entokwa ne besi na se bewie wieye enti mpenifo nya ne ntem ne yemo Ghana de suafo no wo ban emponka be yen fo momrafie na yemo mode na yentimi enso ha na no na se ko a ekọ awieye a ne ama Ghana fo musua de no asa akwakoto ma de sua so amoso mo nkrato mo de abo mudidi ye pa se empenifo betie na so pam atuhu anamon animanimu yada aboa efrise Ghana fo adehye omo wo baabi omusua de no nkwa ho hia Twochoni ade ema ekono owura Pius Theophilus Bedu ensa hyase bi openyina wono ensoso eye twochoni sa owura Julius Kwame Anthony ensa hyase domtenani Boachi Yadom Emmanuel enso ensa hyase a omasensan ato apete ensa ka bi enei ya chechiri mu amamo
Ghana Montie Ghana Montie Ghana Montie Ghana Montie
Odisampa Kasia bo Kowaka Temunsa Amaya se Kasia Abwagye
Onye yimu Nukretrodo Kalagile menkamadine bo
Nitafe
Mama yentie Kasia Abwagye 100.9
Kwesi Bonkwe
Senior American, the Bonkrata and Jona has stories on the Ukraine-Russian situation. Ghanaian Times will say President laments Russia-Ukraine conflict. Daily Guide: the bloody war breaks out. Putin attacks Ukraine by land, air, sea, cyber. Over 1,000 Ghanaians stranded over stranded. Oil prices sky. Rocket. Daily Guide over a graphic was say Russia-Ukraine conflict, safety and evacuation of Ghanaians key. President Akufo-Addo we and same be na yankwa humano so yeni honorable Amprichum Sapon waye Mrashebe Junior Jama Asante Mampo na titu Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister ye koso wo Ukraine no yanti ase kakra. Honorable Yada Simu Akwa Baba Nit FM so. Na umpo. Na anope yepase ati yenyanti ase kakra ye hu se mode krata bi epie yakenkan bi di ama eye etiefo so dien pa na ban no eye ne ekoso ewo Ukraine sisia no nhihye etisen pa because e bi asase e kasa se Ghana de hye ho titru wo ma wo musua de ho nom se school for no aban enkofo mo emfambra Ghana yen ni anamo amutu
no apani be da sipi emte senior wa kan no ministry the statement ba our big statement and more fine they too asemi na se ya asi kunu ho so Ghana yen sheda yen send enye adititu ma yen ye edia yes you know so then abai wato one more entry points in the evacuation from the crew and yeah eye is say will be between akase media me evacuating microphone at the one every crew ho
enti mpacho chese enya ade bia mfan se wiemhyen bi tu na wiemhyen bi kwa akosi krom ho
that is the first I know what is one more space when they say attack ya for and you could be grown. It will not be advisable. Yeah, who to invention. Now, 2 years, and let go almost talk. I want the ball with you, Shana. That was the day. It is only a 1 more crowd, 1 more. And there are 1 more year can see a path. 1 more complex on safety bunkers here. Woman, I want no more go. But you so your school for I walk room one. Advice I also the other woman said for the time being, no dear. Bank baby, Ukraine are buying the citizens, you know, and what could see one will be one will safety, no. You can follow that particular and you know, and it's the first year in Yata Mount Crown or Busha for one is safe. Now, Ukraine Krumu Wankasa. Then you didn't miss it ever. You didn't miss it ever. Yeah, Turkey. And I share Ukraine as well. And your honorary consul and a war capital of Kiev. It is one honorary consul, a honorary consul. And I'm all the essential to FIA.
But your honorary consul,
honorary consul, and diplomatic, you know. Yeah, that will be our try to be a mission. It could be our one Peter with you. Baby, I went to me and see what went to me and one could be one. Yeah, I tell be a room on the one. Yes, Ghana, no. Will be to me at the new Mudia May. There will be per visa, and I go for passport to some. And now, say Ghana need a problem. Be no poor be I will be dinner somewhere in Amano, one man a quantino. The penny will come on one. Yeah, now, on the asset, Udina Ghana, name I was my name at the May. In the case, there is a new mission. Auntie, Yape will honorary consul will be a would give a new to sound among at the May. The name of a dinky home. The mission I want Ankara, and I said, a year better said, check, you know. Also, the name Ukraine are buying me so 18 home. For the time being this year. And yeah, and this half to the Yama, your crop for the Ukraine are buying no activities, and you know, your parents say, shelter, and the temporary bunkers, you know. Yeah, you put on also and can't Ukraine, you could move for no. You want to send it now you go to her. You need to clear by 18 guitars. And let's send you there. I quite remember now you're going to yet to me you will free home. But yeah, didn't send you there. Poland, Western Poland, you make me a move, you're going to be alcohol. And I'm about a good to say, and I'm now it is not that easy to say. And the corner started to we say we go evacuate, who go evacuate one more thing. Aluprima go aluprima. Who go for evacuate one more for heaven. Even 7 Mr. Yeah, see America and Britain no more caker. One more social security, sir. A walk room. One more year will be able to go evacuate to this and to Kala Shafian. And we are winning.
Be said, America, Honorable America, the Anocradia said, Joe Biden, as I say, catch him, say, yeah, dear, only soldier for Babophobia, and T. Were free Ukraine, Honum saying, America, addition.
Yes, you know, because regardless, how can I say, the one here, Afghanistan, you see Afghanistan, for example, say, right? America for every place you go or chain one go for. Because a whole that airspace, you know, then I and to quite air cost, and I will be a quite attractive. A kufu for one more crop would be and one running, and that's one more two. I buy a walk in Kubo. It is now one more airspace, you know, and cheddar a new Musa. But when you may be a Russia for air 2 or 2, and they funny idea, no. What we need baby and for 42. Let me say, president as a union. Akwa ye bia batabo. Ukona ukofa one aircraft and now they kwa kofa the problem e Africa mo.
Honorable, me bisa sa asem ye ebi nso asem bisa ne se sa Ukraine ade we no. Enye putuprumu akeke o. Eya ade a hyase se boboba ode bia beti ase o Russia for omo pese omo ko Ukraine omo ko to hye omo so ni ne ka ho enti yante ye adenti ne yentu ho anamo bia na bebia edu na fi ne ka so sisi ade wie hyemu ntu ebi nko ntimi nko form
opening without city. I said we go on my sometimes your manu look so easy and so simple. And I just I could do about a board. I said, well, do evidence and who can not get careful. What the quota high, you can't, what the cocoa for higher, you can't. I said, you call here over me. I won't go school, oh, Kumui. I won't do so fine. Do so fine. And Casa in the na ayo hu se Russia for be ade ade gyina so na super ni gyina so Western Intelligence North Atlantic Treaty Organization for woman na wo form ho pa wo intelligence ya ye be pa na wo aircraft ade na ebe ba so ana eba so sebe Russia for ade ye Dana ya pesi edi ano bekwa akotu ese ewo mu hono but ade no na nya ade na ani da ho pa se akwa no be atake ukefo na akwa bu ni akwa ko ye dana ade ni ate ena ko du ba bi sukura no na again intelligence lecture say Eastern Ukraine from home and so castle will be attacking and there were certain portions here. 54 demarcated years and the likely attack and the follow within a particular area. One more capital, yes, on the western side. Nobody anticipated Russia for attacking Kiev and that's what Russia attacking Ukraine. All the intelligence analysis military union was saying the attack was likely to be on the the other side of Ukraine, which borders Russia. Unfortunately, when they attacked or they took everybody unawares, one more missiles are almost sent this in the upper to one more capital. One more capital, and when I am called a school, to do one more. And did I told you something? Because and then I wouldn't plan B and I'm more anticipating and I say, and then Bibiana, our part of why your friends and me just asking Biana would take it. It must be well grounded on military advice, military direction. And we were also in constant touch with the authorities to try and find out exactly what is on the ground and what is likely to happen to them. Yeah, advice here. And my associate to me, I ask a choir a day and call out ever fashion. When you are a full year, but I didn't hear Cassian say. Since I almost started attacking, the other woman. Ghana, the Aqua, like the Ghana, the who are clear, the one kitchen. Already, I bought the Crawford now buying. Am I a call out one word to be a move for the view of water up or somewhere near the Polish border? I can't have them with sacred. The Baba Mondina will move your call out free, and he great was to see. But like I said, as of now.
Na enti omo ayetiti omo kasa schoolfo a omo kasa radio yeti omo kan ade ade na that means eno nso because nia okay na kwakwa say omo nyina you okay but still answer bi mu kasa
oh opening kasa there situation na wo no and it's not a situation will be a person over WhatsApp. Nobody would want to be in the war zone or in a war country. Nobody. Because we've been in the bit near she. And then the catcher said, the beer, you're going to come up. But we've been in the bit near she. The war zone once every year. Nobody, no better said, or the woman. Papa maame busuani bia adafo bia ni ho bepese ne ho nipa bi ebe was a situation na ye man akwa pim ewu ene de me ka se me na bo mu hono mu a enka me enye me get because sabi you need control over what is likely to happen and that's what the Russians are likely to do.
Okay.
But the pioneer body say they say near one boy by about to say no. Abai and propose the responsibility in any shape or form. Abai Indian and national, there is a team that has been put together monitoring the Ukrainian situation. On a daily basis, we are receiving briefings, we are making contacts, we are doing whatever we have to do to find out and update ourselves what is going on and what the reaction government is supposed to do.
Okay.
Government is very much alive to the responsibilities as a government. They are able,
okay, but we are alive to more responsibilities. See, yes, I know, and I'm saying ranking member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, Honorable Kujito Ablakwa, and send me to social media Twitter. Okase, with escalating hostilities and indications that a catastrophic deterioration appears inevitable, it is now expedient for government. It is now expedient for government of Ghana to quickly intervene to save Ghanaian lives, asking our students to seek their own shelter in these petrifying circumstances cannot be considered helpful by any stretch of imagination. And someone working is Sabrea and Kodakwa him na amanfo su ye to bomb ye to say na mo say omo amunkope omo shelter amunkope baby nkoshe no de na te say no enya abadaye asem na mo ka kire eye asukufu na Ghana de hie
okoni ukujo to asem le ya na sometimes na mfa nya asem ono bi na no asem sometimes o kasatra ba heart.
Oh, honorable, your colleague, honorable member of he's the ranking on foreign affairs.
We are ranking. It doesn't mean that we be one. Situation we are in. You find your partisan politics.
But that's and fair comment say and fair comment say Okasatra.
It is a very wrong comment for him to make. A very unfair comment for him to make. Situation is down. Even the Western authorities to cry now. I don't want them. One we are so powerful. Assembly, I do want them. How many Western countries let me back to a month for Grumo? Neil. There are two borders. What do you want Ghana government to do? To go and break the borders of Ukraine? See the Kwakwa and Crawford. Come on. Sometimes I gave the band, the Kosia, Ghana. I never be able to score political points. Tell me, which Western country
so political points in way from or say here abai enya abadaya kakra na say omakwa huye
abadaya open obika to say abai nya abadaya. Is he telling me that as a general abadaya be do na abai onye abadaya be dim and abai onye you need mission so we don't physically have Ghanaian representatives. To say they are Hollandia, they are Ghana mission. Ghana will go for. Uko India, your Ghana mission. The BBC, yes, this is where Ghana for ever go. We have an honorary consul. People back and you know, Ghana assembly about the Kirmay. One more shake room one Katanga. Yes, mission. A shop on. Turkey. Go and look at the distance from Turkey to home. And but at the point I keep on making, they have closed all their land, sea, and airspace. Now, can you tell me, how do we evacuate in Crawford from Kumo? Who do you fall under your landing? Who do you fall see your to see you? Who do you fall I want to see you? So where are you evacuating your Crawford? If I don't over. Let's be very honest and stop about this deep political in this type of situation. White is white, black is black. Right? If you are encouraging government or even supporting government, and now the idea be a very practical and pragmatic idea, the better resolve the idea, not the other. But not to try and make it look like the government is doing nothing. A grana or honor. I think before we bring a bushia for a film. The ministers in the and now they called me. One more for a cash students in Ukrumo. So are you telling me that President Nana Kufano, the Anamon Papa will be one over to our own two? A tower, a television, we shouldn't be looking at it from that, you know. Nana, Sem Naba, they are one after it. Aturia to Kobia. A kukudam for Krampono, woman to be going on for you can't because the airspace is blocked. No aircraft is flying, apart from maybe Ukrainian military aid. So what do you want to do? How do you move your people from there? You have to look at, okay, inside the meeting, you will move to Krum there. And inside a Krum, where can I provide shelter, temporary shelter for the Marifo? We are in contact with the Ukrainian government. The Ukrainian government is very fantastic and responsive. I'm a Ghana for students. The one and Roma Coca Iranian citizens. The Roma Coca shelter. Okay. Thanks to say it two number two, say MS2, the beer won't be Quaco to me and Kawa. That is the first thing you do. You set people. You make sure that you secure them. And sign what they say, make me a move on to Krumha. What we are currently doing is to make sure that they are secured wherever they are. Yes. At best, the overpenetrate a Nipan almost to Krumha. But for now, it is not possible to make me a Krumha because you are too young, you are too open, you are too assassin. So,
Honorable, so Nooks you form so the crater be APA. And just you read portions of it or say, we believe that the model used for the evacuation of students from China at the peak of COVID-19 pandemic could be adopted in this instance as well. We are thus asking for the evacuation of students from the eastern provinces of Ukraine, which is the present nucleus of the conflict, and out of Russia, as the country may pose an overall hostile environment to our students. Students may be temporarily resettled in the western province of Ukraine, which remain calm at present, or most preferably out of the country altogether and back home till a resolution is reached on this crisis. So I'm saying, and I'm about 2 years brana COVID-19, China, Senya, Shishia Muye, no Mufise, Mubetimia Fair, no be so. Now, what Chechim says, Moyi and Kodane be because Eastern province, one of them saying, Mufise, and I send you conflict on our chassis here. So now can I say CCR ye nya baby a school for no woman one ye diomo ebia wamakwa kwhye
opani ye look to for us more can but no we are abai en hihye ni abai entotua abai etoto ebia ye di ka say one more work Kiev for example capital ko la dodo no one work here. A horror and to quarter and say them even do Grofono, Russia for the group or Kakra. But and say them P. If you want to run, you move Colano business, Emma or Quate, Aqua, Bodesia, and a Bay Poland. That's what they are doing. Now, Komaya, you create a by the Indian, Ubie, the Bodesia, let us say, Kimena and Colano free, create Krumo, Aquaso, and Romako, a year friend say. Poland, on the eastern side of the Ukraine, where Tokano Asasio, Kitipano, Sana, and you suggest here, or would be. But that's I buy 31. Now, the Slovenia, even apart from the fact that, and I say, open to opportunity, now move Colorado eastern Ukraine as they go western side. And look at it's not that simple or that easy. One, your movement is going to be on land. Now, moving people during a wartime, you can't predict. Yeah, aggressor. That you're about to Laboba, and you have to do it and also rely on in the home country. One more wow at me, more guidance for and one more far areas. comparatively no you safe na de be move that way you know that na buy the traffic you busu a you need Ukrainian authorities in edin kitale the be have be done and Libya will be able to move enti Tana de bae Tana de still na menchade na enye entokwa situation. It was a COVID situation. So the precautions that we take, any the precautions that we take, and now the terrain, and now the atmosphere will be open. The environment that will operate during COVID in the end within China. And then Ukraine, the other, there are two different things. When you are war, accept. You have to take your and address and would be maybe an tuna boban or to the affair. Even though we have some approach, you know, say bet me a movie one more east, you know, and one more relatively safer area and I want west side and make careful. We also have to take cognizance of the fact that we are in a war situation. And we have to also be extremely careful. Now, only have tell you go for Fasaba. The corner you go to Mubundi Park, every east on the road, and I said, see, now the 12 back or to see a Cobocano and Natina. Yelia, young Crofway. The Nipaya, the Bia, and by any the Papada. The Bia, Wabakasa, and the Tiaba, even the Bia, Namqua, and situation. For no other the Castle Ghana for say. It is irresponsible of Ghana buying in the situation here you will we now we're betting you going to say you will pass overland because that can be disaster. If you hope you have a boy or more. They say you should say I want to be dangerous. So we move with the path. And the deal will be a secure for the time being. Because we will give you and to go. If you say Abangila, then I know to against Russia force and I'm more to know. And yet, United Nations are not them to danger. All other responsible governments in Iran are not them to danger. Attack Russia, say, we die. You will didn't say, and check Russia be die attack. No. November acquired them. It is even possible, say, Russia for ever calm down. I can say, foreigners are able to go on. So, calm down. I'm a work to group on this one year. No one is clear for I was to kind of be a year. No one wants to say about it. Normally, it can happen.
Okay.
Situations this year, you will know.
Okay.
I know definitely they will recognize that.
Okay.
There are foreigners who are not part or party to whatever issues or differences that they have with the Ukrainian government. And therefore, they will not want to subject those foreign nationals to the kind of situation that the anxious situation they find themselves.
Okay.
I sincerely believe that the kind of discussions, the diplomatic moves that are ongoing, you know. I'm sure that you have taken
Okay.
I'm going to send you this year.
Okay. All right.
This is not the time for cheap politics.
All right. Now, before we go, Mokrata no mihwe mu no muka bibi say including the over 1,000 students. It means that yenim school for do drop potting power. We don't know the exact numbers. Sanity.
Oh, it's getting that. We roughly know that they are 1,000. Hello.
Yeah, Honorable say.
We know that the figure is about 1,200.
About 1,200. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Honorable, I mean, come on. Me assure say Bibini and Tiasi best but that's a power. All right. Deputy Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration Minister, that's Honorable Ampretrium Sapon, and I pay need 100.9. Me assure say we timia biebie ni so nkomo ya yedi mamati ne ekoso o man Ukraine mu Russia for ato akwakoshe omo so omasase from the eastern province what I'm saying no na wamode ba eastern tintinta Ghana nka wo mo hwase fi se bia be se eastern ever eastern region o say ya region But Kofodia, I'm going to Easting. And for no, Easting, the few of Togo on them side. If you vote, ever.
Chebi. Is
As I'm sure.
still reading. I am. I wonder enough.
This is if a chebi. O message if chebi. What's it?
Yeah, Santa. That's you see in Santa.
With the entire now, ye fitan.
Ghana, MONTIE, na mansanya son. At the rock of Yaman Homene so ejiji tonton sansan ewo need 100.9 FM.
First, I think the position taken by the minority leader on all fours was well founded. We must care about our own citizens in Ukraine, considering what is happening there. I believe government is monitoring the situation and the appropriate steps will be taken to ensure the safety of our people who are particularly studying there. But I have my own view on this matter, which I believe members would agree to, that when somebody coughs, another person sitting somewhere catches cold. There's no doubt on my mind that just as COVID disrupted the world economy, this war is also disrupting the world economy and affecting developing nations like Ghana. Already, Mr. Speaker, the unemployment situation is something that is a burden on us as a country. Ghanaians are worried about fuel prices. They go to the pump and it's unbearable. And we are having this escalation, which is also leading to high prices of crude. Mr. Speaker, not the least is even our currency. Because now, Mr. Speaker, Ghanaian traders are living in a state of uncertainty. So people are trying to change their cedi into forex. You are ordering products from Ukraine, Eastern Europe, and even in Europe. There's general uncertainty. We depend on a lot of imports. So, Mr. Speaker, this is a time for us as a country to have a new approach to our politics, because everything will end in this chamber. That is why I'm happy the Honorable Minority Leader, the little time he had, he raised this important matter. It is a huge issue, and politicians on both sides, whether MPP, NDC, this is not a time for partisan politics. This is a time to work together, because it's a whole crisis that will not be limited to the people of Ifutu, but those at Elembele will go through the same crisis. Those at Garu will go through the same crisis. Those at Keta will go through the same crisis. Those at Jomoro will go through the same crisis. Everywhere. Mr. Speaker, there's a call on us to rise up as patriots, to think about new ways. As a businessman, I am worried, I am concerned, knowing that the value chain is going to be affected. Imports would cost, duties will cost. And if you look at what is happening to the cedi, now dollar is moving around a certain figure. Yes, Mr. Speaker, unless members do not want to appreciate the text of the statement made by Honorable Anne Idrisu, The Honorable Harun Idrisu said he was raising an issue of urgent public importance. And my contribution, my comments, are squarely in line with those concerns. And in doing so, I must bring to the attention of the House the reality. This is not politics. This is not NDC or MPP. This is about an international catastrophe which is affecting Mother Ghana. And the need for us to take away the politics and now have a new way of thinking to support our government. Because, Mr. Speaker, the call to evacuate Ghanaian citizens from Ukraine will come at a cost. No European country will evacuate our citizens for us. No Ghanaians, no European country. NATO will not do that. America will not do that. There is going to be pressure on the limited resources that we have.
Okay, all right. So, Deputy Majority Leader, Honorable Afenyo Marking, in our TC Wakasano. Now, San Komoya, Ania Mebomami, Yakwako Komo Yeba, Ebema Kwabina Chichimu, but me Honorable Samuel Okuji to a Blackwa, Ranking Member, Foreign Affairs Committee, and pay Yanini Ninkomo. Honorable Yadasimu Akwaba Nita FMSO.
Yo, media, that's the Diaboko.
Yamia Daruma Boko. Now, as a ranking member on foreign affairs, near Kosovo, Ukraine, Russia for one share year Ukraine for you. So far, dear na unim fahopa, dear na between your for when second be between yache.
So that's it. I mean, chair,
If for you so.
It's a little right from the outset. I'm not a believer in war, conflict. We share the history of warfare, the world, and far Papabia Empire always leads to unspeakable catastrophe, unspeakable destruction, and even more loss of life. I know, because at least the destruction of cities, destruction of countries, Oko, Fukushima, and Nagasaki, and what Japan is saying, there's been some effort to rebuild the city after the atomic. And so no, all the thousands of lives lost are never covered. Families, generations that have been mutilated now are never told. Honestly, no. Yeah, Kosovo, Russia, Ukraine, as I say, no, it is even threatening the possibility of a third world war. As I said, you're sending a very clear message. Russia, in particular, and all of cosmopolitan Europe, the world not countenance a third world war. It is so disappointing that United Nations they are created after the League of Nations collapsed. No? United Nations appears quite helpless, which almost to me and prevented some of the major humanitarian crises, which are all self-inflicted. And so, sure the build-up to this, it has been coming. Russians, because now Western allies of Ukraine or more building a military base, Ukraine, so close, less than a kilometer away from Russia, right on the border. They were building the capacity to attack Russia and even preparing to admit Ukraine as a full member of NATO until Russia felt threatened, and Russia has been raising concerns. Now, yet Kaiser in history, no, when the Russians tried to do a similar thing in Cuba, Ubekaya 1962, when they also tried to build a military base, the Americans did not allow it because Omuka said it will give Russia the proximity to attack them anytime they so desire. And they fought off the Russians, and the Russians had to back off in 1962. There's been some history, and Anona strengthened Vladimir Putin. The Americans, when we were coming close, trying to establish a military base in Cuba, no, what am I inquiring? How do you expect that we will allow you and your allies to establish a military base in Russia, close to Russia?
That's in Ukraine.
In Ukraine,
right?
Close to Russia.
Mm.
Honestly, no, there should have been dialogue. There should have been some proactive measures to prevent an escalation. They are going to plunge the international, because they say, no, you have allies of Ukraine, Obia imposes sanctions, UK imposes sanctions, America imposes sanctions, France imposes sanctions on Russia, and they are threatening, say, this is just the first step. And nobody knows what will be the next step. That Russian for and withdraw more troops on one the invasion at Air Kosovo. You may begin to see the allies of Ukraine, no, and the NATO force, because NATO so has serving notice. They're almost prepared and they're preparing for action and putting all their cards on the table. It's an internationally murky situation. It's bringing, if you like, memories. It's reminiscent of First World War, Second World War. Then it started, just two countries, probably the Nazis, German invasions, of Europe, Poland, France, and then America steps in, and then the Allied forces, decide to also attack. The Air Kosovo, we have to be very, 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 very worried. Now, Yankai said, sometimes it gets to a point where they even have to do mass recruitment. I said Second World War, it led to a situation where they had to even rely on colonies to supply them with troops. The Ghanaian soldiers were drafted over Kaya, and even after the war, MONTIE, that is what led to Sajia Jetemo leading the protest, Accra, seeking, the promises are it gets murky. Now, Usha the Kosovo are affecting the entire international financial system. Then Russia is rich in oil and gas. And if you look at just a few days ago, a barrel of crude was under $70. They say no, it's more than $100 just because of the cost. It affected economies around the world, particularly vulnerable developing economies. They say Ghana, we will bear the brand. Now, I am also very, very, very concerned about the implications for West Africa security situation. Because when himself, say we have violent extremists, and now say insurgents, terrorists are controlling a lot of countries in Africa. Osha right from Libya, the Sahel, all the way down to Mali, Burkina Faso, 2 weeks ago, we saw an attack, a terrorist attack in Benin. Now, a number of these countries who are now engaged, busy on the Russia-Ukrainian issue, to keep these extremists at bay. Even though the irony, and it's they unleash them with their ill-thought invasion of Libya. No? That is what really led to a deterioration of Africa's security situation. The Russians are in Mali. The French are in Mali. To contain the violent extremists, ISIS for Boko Haram, for Al Qaeda in the Maghreb, all of these extremist groups. They say, focus on Russia, Ukraine, and it will create some field day for these insurgents. It's because, and as a country, we have to be worried, sir. OSHA or more activities, recent activities are more attacking virtually all our neighbors. Burkina Faso has been attacked, and they control more than 60% of the country. Omo attacking Benin, Omo attacking Togo. They've attacked Ivory Coast. It's Omo boy to contain this threat. They say, they have a much bigger problem on their hands right in their continent. And it is only a matter of course that will become their priority. The consequences are dire for us. And then, finally, Yankai said, Ghana, there were a lot of students that were Ukraine. In the National Union of Ghana Students, Ukraine chapter, Akasa.
Okay.
Omo 959 registered students. This is those who have registered with NUCs. They also believe there are quite a number, about 200 or more registered here with NUCs. And then you have some other Ghanaian nationals. So they say Ghana for Otaitu Kwanya, we will say there is a Ghanaian in almost every country in the world.
Sure.
I bet you all the 193 United Nations member countries we have quite some significant presence of Ghanaians in Ukraine.
Mm.
And we have to be concerned about Homo plight and how we whisk them out of harm's way. Who assesses Russia so well?
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of Ghanaians in Russia. Russia, there, OSHA estimates now it will be in excess of 4,000 Ghanaians in Russia. Now, why is Russia important? Russia is important because the air Kosono would hear the threat of Biden, of Macron, of Boris Johnson, and the other leaders allied to Ukraine now. They haven't ruled out attacking Russia, some kind of retaliation. Almost the Russia enjoyed the Omoyana, and it's possible say after the round of sanctions now, Omo imposing, they may be compelled to also attack Russia, descend on Russia. It becomes even more murky, and the consequences for Ghana are very, very, very dire.
Okay.
In China, the air Kosono, it has to be condemned. If you look at the history of the world, there has been more wars, in Europe than any other continent. And talking about international conflict, country versus country. And I think that after centuries of warfare, we should have learned from history, wars do not solve any problems. And no matter what, these leaders must think about the consequence. Because they say, death toll, the death toll is over 100. I'm sure, sir, by end of today, no, it will be hitting 200. And yet, you have a situation where these people are still, talking tough. They do not want to sit down and smoke the peace pipe. They don't go to the battlefront themselves. They send other people's children, soldiers, to go and fight for them. I mean, it's just senseless, very, very senseless.
Honorable,
we cannot continue to countenance this.
Okay, Twitter, I'm saying, no pay many deputy. Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration Minister Edin Komona Mibusan said, Nia Wokani, was this as Mia Wokan just want to score cheap political points. Keke. It said, I mean, yeah, Kosovo, Ukraine, TC Accra, plain to me, ANC, plain to me too. Ukraine are two on borders in India Kaka. And Asema Bano Monsieur, a school way, Yempe shelter be, Omunkope baby no Munsia. Na odi ababe to abontin na okasa akoyese aban no ni abadae is just to score cheap political points.
Not at all. I mean, as I'm kesi and isi, as I said, yenyina ye concern. Tre ya join ye ma ideas. And draw najo any Korean students maybe or more. Manage escape, and about 7 of them this year. The Kasaya for more than 2 hours. I'll soon even be putting out the pictures of that meet. They escaped just a few days ago. And I'll encourage the ministers of foreign affairs. Invited these students. And Kasa. Because you see, if you are far removed, you would not really appreciate the cost. These students are telling me, sir, other governments, to me, a government-to-government arrangement. In India, for example, India, to me, send 3 aircrafts colleague students are Indians. Yeah, to me, evacuate your because of the government-to-government relation. If a country says we've closed our airspace, it's just like COVID by Ghana, you're closing your airspace to commercial airlines. But it didn't mean, sir, we were not allowing aircraft to come into Ghana once there is a government-to-government bilateral agreement. Sir, we allowed aircrafts to come in once you have that permission, that green light. Other countries are doing it. Nigeria.
What one playing? Are you saying that Indian arrangement the time being and no more?
Oh, just about Andrea, Nigeria, issue statement. Emma contact to their students in Ukraine, or more and contacting these numbers. Now, prepare for evacuation, and that they will be moved out of Ukraine. Other countries are doing. The French, the British. In my statement, I said, sir, Ghana, you challenge, and it's they say, you need embassy at war Ukraine. Into embassy in Switzerland, and more concurrent responsibility, and now share Ukraine. Because of that, you need the ground support, ground logistical and technical advantage. Other countries who have resident diplomatic missions have in Ukraine. And because of that, I was suggesting, sir, and the students agree with me, and they've seen other countries do that.
yen partner with other countries are almost our agreement with the Ukrainian authorities are almost lifted almost nationals. No, we can partner with them. It always happens. Always happens. Yeah, evacuation of Afghanistan recently. No, those partnerships came to bear into Australia, France, Britain. They come together, they pool, and then now almost using aircraft back up. So their nationals are allowed. It happens always.
And
Once you have
you're
friendly
saying
agreement.
that there's no danger because now Deputy Minister Kase, it is dangerous plane cry to fly now because unim baby a missile in maybe a quacko a plane in your kaka. And you are saying as to cry, there are some countries that are making arrangement plane are flying in and taking their citizens out.
Absolutely. And in addition to that, some countries too are moving their citizens into other countries across the border.
Okay.
Into Poland, Turkey, and moving them away. That is also a possibility. The Americans say, let us not close the chapter because things can get out of hand.
Okay.
And they say people should just go and look for shelter and hide. No, I mean that cannot be a solution. Okay. And in any case, countries that were proactive, they are out of the woods. Only student leaders, Ekasa, they have shown evidence. Letters are omuchro, ekoma, embassy officials, and your consulate war Kiev, and the embassy in Bern in Switzerland since the 24th of January, and then another one 18th February. No response, and the students themselves had, as it were, accounted for themselves. Obia register, on my address, on my phone numbers, and they had their own exit strategy. I said these are largely science students, medical students, and they are very conversant about these matters when there is a crisis. How do you escape? What are the disaster escape strategy and all of that?
Okay.
And they were quite proactive, but that's on the part of the students. But unfortunately, the kind of response, even not an acknowledgement to their letters. They'll tell you, this is not me making up these stories. If other countries are able to whisk their nationals out of harm's way, you can read up, France, Britain, America, India, Japan, Malaysia, Nigeria, Egypt. How is it that they are able to find a way to, they are not asking their students and now nationals just to go and hide and pray and hope that no bombs will fall on them. They are able to find a way, a safe route out of the crisis. Let's explore that. Let us not give up on that option, particularly as other countries, and their nationals are arriving safely, either at home or in neighboring countries where it is safe. Let us also explore that. That's all I'm asking for. And about the politics at all, because you have no idea, the relations that you have and all of that. This is a major issue. It's a humanitarian situation, and we should be concerned about a solution.
But yes, for us to wrap up, my last question here. Near deputy majority leader and or the two menim Rashebe Dream send a team out said, yes, okay by evacuation was Yankofa Yadishia, but Abani Yesika, and he was support to e-levy, support to e-levy. I buy Benyesika no Marco Fankwadai, a school for if Ukraine at Yaba, mon support to e-levy. Honorable.
In here, Ukraine, matters of governance. Let us show more seriousness. Let's take the Ghanaian people more serious. How can you say, sir, crisis abba as them can we are it? Young copper, at the time, Ben, and your bear a lay bill, no, a debate it. I go through all the processes. That is, even if we agree. And how are you going to even mobilize numbers and money, numbers you don't have, and all of that? So then say that you are going to now have the bill approved. Look, let's be serious. On my way at your woman, you pass the E-levy. There's no E-levy has not been passed. And so your president, who took who to me, I abandoned presidential jet, no, I got charter $14,000 an hour, LXDI. But to me, got charter without E-levy. They say, we have heard details of just how much of our money the Sika are buying, I say, anytime or more members come and vote in parliament, come and have an E-levy vote. Private jets is sent across the world, pick up their members. Honorable Ajasafumo and the others, the Omumba Parliament, number 2, because of an E-levy vote. And no dear, Omo to me Enyasika go around the world with private jets, airlifting their members. Let's serious. You see, when we make statements like this now, to offend people, this is a crisis. Lives are at stake. And then you are talking this way. What the Bibiano is an opportunity to make a case for E-levy. E-levy way and on Ababe Panacea. You pass E-levy. You pass and Ghana will become the United States of America. The problems in it will solve all our problems. I mean, let's get serious, because it is even insulting, and it means that some we are you are downplaying it. Who did the agro? I mean, what you say a comic relief, comedy be and a air coso. Please. These are very, 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 very serious times. It calls for deep thinking and a very swift strategy as to how I bet to me and whiskey Ghana out of harm's way. That is the issue at stake. This our petty E-levy comedy air coso. Let's not introduce that at all. Let's stop the thought of the Ghanaian people. I mean, a grown-up Dawson have to be serious.
Honorable, Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, a ranking member on Foreign Affairs Committee, Mrashebe Jino North Town. And I need 100 points. Na Ghana Muntie Jumedie Suru Asiogwe. Na no pay the Ukraine in Semno. Be sure say CCR de what ya see kama. We hu ne ekoso insunsuanso wo ma o my Ghana ne si ne aban hihia Ghana nso die gu akwam ne ka ho. But yebo ani bi emamo. Deputy Majority Leader Honorable Afeyo Markin sembi enra wodi tu dwa e wo ye Mrashebe na make asem ma kwabena manfo achechim. Bada yekodi nkomo ni Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa enkomo yasamba kwabena bomodi abo ne tofa ye nkomo me boma ye tiefu yi
abusuafo na ye Honorable Alexander Afeyo Markin onu ye Deputy Majority Leader wonna no okase na no ono ka Samuel Minority Leader kan wo aso en wetre se obo Minority Leader baso asamo a wo kan no ne kwan so no na Ghana fo nyina ehia asamo a eni kwa kura so obia adidi agro ewa wo we so obi bo ati sefuntum wo sa matatene e kwafu kwa he benwan samade ni bi akoka jewa na ono nso enya code ni bi enti enya nipa ba akofo na enya asemu esi wo ho no effect pa e de bra Ghana 43 unemployment enipa enya tuma nye ewo Ghana ewo asem no a esi wo Ukraine ho no enya asem ketu ewom say Ukraine na esie nso unemployment rate ya e de beba Ghana nso ye ba affect yen fuel price petrol bu abekọ soro crude nso e de esi bekọ petrol bu no kura de e wo koduru pump wonu mu a na wo yem asew na we ya asa ba beka ho e wu otafo ye ha no kura ne dollars no isi a dollars yi enam ntukọ esi wonti ta kwa na ekosoro dollars yi kwa na ekosoro wei abasa akobia ka ho a obi ayem bese no etedifu akra niema edifra brochire ba eniema edudu na ne akra bi free Ukraine eniema etaye ho asia the same thing dollars yi be kosoro ukọ import duty a airport wo enso the same thing aba affect the speaker enya sam ketu akra ne yaka no enti asese emrase bedani nyina Ghana fo ekwaya ye fa so a ye politics no ye fa new approach ye fa kwan foforo so wey NDC MPP semye anim munyina mo nka mo humbom na mo support aban no said ye be ya ne tumadi oye nyina ebetumi akonkan na ka me kan enya futufo nkwa na beka wo mu ebeka ntomrofo elembelefo benyu wo mu chafa obi abenya bi me a businessman na me ya worried import duties impo na me sunwen na dia me saka ekura se ta me nsurum aya dollar no bo dollar no ehwa na hu sankofo bi atiemu wetire dollar ya se enam ne baby ekodada at say ye ejati ase anka ne kuro yewu ekuro ya nso na kumaja enti no amu hwiwi o ten bende aswa fa bronya ho repa no ana waso da bi papa so pa uma so nya nanim da ni yemu a asam na minority leader ka ye no aseso wo mu fa ni serious very urgent pa eni kwa so obi adidi agro ni support to president said ye be ya ni tumedi a wo ye nyina ebetumi akonkan we ni kwa so obi ayi ni hu frim ehwo ana kwasi abuagye ane ne nkomo tutie no edikwasi yenti funtum wo sa abatatune yakwaso wa Ukraine no definitely ebeka yempa
Meda se kwabna na Pius Theophilus Beidu secretary for international relations ma nukes a school for Kubatan yene no nin komo Pius da se mo akwa baba NIT FM so anope
Oh, Mr. Meda, yeah.
So far, information amwenya teach you on the side of a school for Ghana for one more Ukraine, empo bia Russia, near Ekoso or Ukraine no, any sempa nukes.
William Meda, information yes I can say the school for over 1,000 students are almost there for Ukraine. Yeah, Russia. You can say, Akim Kakara, can say, MSC. You can say, airport near shut it down, for 10 years, you must don't go Ukraine, that's answer. Mana, a hard drink Kakara. But the days now, the name is painful as a teach you the issue of foreign affairs of education. But we are on the of foreign affairs. We do a question. Nura, you know, Mushia, some catch and said, only sensitive in common. Now, the question, yeah, only me, much I see. Now, almost say at this time, no, sense, no, we remain calm. Now, just them. What deɛ na sɛ wosi sɛ kuka bi ɛrekɔ so a ɔmbɛhyɛ sɛ students na nkɔpɛ government inform government shelter na ɔmo nkɔtena ase deɛ kɔso yi deɛ ɛyɛ asɛfo but bɛnyame di ɛyɛden sɛ ɛbɛakɔyi students aba Ghana because of what is happening on the ground. In the interim, the best chef is na obiara nka biribi a ɔhɔ de na ɔnhyɛ na nneɛma ɛbrɛ ase Ghana ban nkita ho ayɛ hyɛ na yɛbɛfo mu nya.
Okay. But so far in terms of ABA, nyomu bedie, nyomu benom, baby omo eda, almost at the same pass, and when you would and command, a yadio more eduane, do do na bet me, ABA, so almost a dema, won't bet me cry, it's me didi.
Yeah, but that's for my minute, Anopa, excess, no medi, any no better yet. Debut and Abon. Na issue kakra ọmụgwọ gas supply na embabi ọmụ heaters embabi because look at the temperatures in Ukraine is just a war they are not gas heaters they are not every man of oil but another embabi because that gas here come on Russia yeah, exporting money. Yeah, that's it. Because of supply now and maybe almost as some say down shortages grab shortages because amount for sense of what air being talk to not be brave go feed the mass of the but you won't conform your new sport Ukraine also a branch form almost any student here in Kitahon almost a form of executives are almost one but almost my is that so far bombings are Ukraine then Libya and touch
Okay. Now, me sure say Martin Abaya Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration. Nyom dia baba tujua about near Kosovo Ukraine. Any nyom free say a school for one more year. Matibi, Makin Kaibi.
If I try because to crazy Ghana for students companies I want to for Ministry of Foreign Affairs. A man in India, Morocco, Israel, among issues among students, even way before and to in some field. But now students almost complaining the home, almost issue. Then you can't call Ministry of Foreign Affairs anymore. You could think it on anymore. As I said, still not students from America. The student from Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And ministry, a year meeting, no more cabinet meeting, you know, more secular and buy. Some of the points that you really during our meeting, America, we see, which I see statements, you have to buy any ministry is almost all the time. Some of the points they raise in
Okay. Now, sir, in some Foreign Affairs Ministry, one more king. Back on pay Yatuma Deputy Minister. Na what you no say, Munsusi Amodemo Moso, and she see our more year brand COVID-19 su unity or China, a pandemic ye buy ye, and Kabeya Sanchisiano, Yamfa, a bingo aquamu, Niamfa, and ye school for you, clean or see Debbie, and yet at the crop. It's answer. Near course, no, COVID breno, seeing him say no, dear, nan fancy disease. But where dear you can't and tokwa or kun war, and yet the same thing.
know the many deputy minister ya drinking. So share situation two different situations. China there no not the yet to one. There was room for China buying the ambassador negotiate with China applying for evacuation. But we're not applying to one. Applying only the better negotiate. Ideally, Ukraine for no so on your normal point, but also Nigeria, only Russia point to one. You know, I say Russian soldiers, almost property, Ukraine for airport. Almost airport in the brain. Ukraine for buying, say, Ghana for. Is there that a Russian form say, airport for, and yet there are two different situations. Even a buying a train, a buying, then China and Yama and Raffle. Yama ever from there's a swap. That's not, I think, so those who in position for now. Because like I said, buying first people are, once our plane lands in Ukraine, I heard that went down for up to 2 years ago for Apple and so the Apple September. Where the best say I work for any for share or Ukraine, humans you now go to young umpire say, buying
Okay, all right. Now, so Niamidi Becha to so far countries Ben Amunim, am I saying Amunim say be a woman? I be she say be on my quafire be on my school for this year fee Ukraine.
Yeah. As mentioned, America any Israel, any more issue, a copy of statement, ABA, which means at the airport published after the call. That's somewhere ending of January because taking intelligence impact. Well, that we are putting right now, but it looks like young artifacts because because India for the kind the European BBC Ukraine more students any woman for effort. The US was advising their also after statement on the president having said the Aquano Island said I think the disadvantage on our side is that we didn't react time. But nonetheless, your bonfire
okay, you better see it. Say Pius, a chief sending Cornaby. Why? Pius Theophilus Bedu, NUC Secretary for International Relations, and Anope, near Kosovo, Ukraine, ye di a young common. But you baba the bonkrat and come over. Bibi Kakrebi and Pesam de Tuja, and Tichi say was so coy and command honorable Kujita Black a dina. No, I can't be because in the scene and one here now is okay. Russia for the Omo Prena and Russia for the when any fan, the Antino Omo yes say, but almost one more at the Crunty Omo yes ideally. Russia for no so at the Crunty Omo yes ideally. And Utie honorable Kujita Black yepa, what can be at what you say. Yes, a brave trim. Now Russia for some military bases. Be what Bem say Cuba Honum say in America for say wine. Ya peninsula mamu ye bibia. Woman makwai more man yet. And then one moment who say America for any Western allies for ye. One more from who net to. One more assas ye and one more trauma ye one more eshim ewo Russia baby or more on my side na. One more trim. One more year basis CB on person baby or Ukraine. And in your kaka home. No, and Russia for say, mu ebrebe atwam ye see a baba ye ayi basis CB war ye Cuba. I'm pretty so. And mo pesa mo de mo bopini yes because say Ukraine no ben Russia. Enti mo pesa mo bopini yes and ye see a boy pini mo see there be mo mpene so. Enti mo so mo ba be boy pini ye dia yes so ye mpene so. Enti say wo mo say Ukraine for no mo bie wo mo prono say Western allies America for ni ade wo so wo mompini ye Russia no na ese wo ba behwe wo nkwan mu ai ena Russia for say twa ene sa ade a ye gi oman Ukraine a wo be kire be bia mo ba be bom nkuro wo enti no ena akofa we nyina ade abayo enti na Russia for so wo mo akwakoto ahye Ukraine for so saa no need 100 points na Ghana muntie adwumedie so sabre no wotwe aba pa ho sima ensia enche madwenkyere no mehu se machira adwene bebre afa Ukraine enkomo ya ye di making can bi e amamo sabre mo ma menum sio kakra na ekua ejewa akode woni kwabena mafo wo mo so mo mbre mu
Ghana muntie Ghana muntie Ghana muntie Ghana muntie
Odisampa Kasiabo Kowaka Tamunsa Amaya se Kwesi Abwaagye
Onye yimu Nukretrodo Kawagile kamadini bo
Nitafe
Mayentie Kwesi Abwaagye 100.9
Kwesi Monkwe
yanko yentwa so ekua de bon krata no yanjibi yanko
yo na ne bless ya yetimpo anu de na anwemu an ebedi agro se de Ukraine fo nsensem ene da dwa so a aye graphic de obokrata e dia ba ni magana e mampanyini so akasa de afa ho na mampanyini akufo adonsima woka nyina ne se yie de ekoso ewo Ukraine memmo no ajapa manidi agiro ko wuli manidi etie papa ta Russia fo akwakoto ahye Ukraine fo so ya aye sensen bebrei na Ghana fo a mo wono mo adesuafo ne timamufo no yegusu ye krakra ye ni apɛ baabi ayi omo akwase si ya paade ye ntimi nka nkyere omo si ye before mo na emamu no omo pɛ baabi e wono mo ye save na kyese omo ankasa ko bom ho adwa na ne nyada no ane se empo no aban da bi ahwese wono mo ye kama no akwa wuram eno akire no ana musifo ahwe ni bia wono mo so obetimi akoho Ghana baabi a ye panyini no nso atie no de ye ni se wonsi anamo mo atie no sa obe na betimi akonu fie Ghana ye ni amama bi nso ekọ ngna krana pa ye ne omo aye fine omo nso dan ahodo betimi akwakotenam abo ho adwa te se UK ni US fo ayifo no manam sifo no betimi akwakoto ne omo ye fine pa eno achie krampo nso no wo hwe dan bi a otimi se sa dan we se de ewono mo no eye ECOWAS dia anase EU dia betimi akwakoba go yaje so amiyana wabo awuram aba betina se na mabom ho adwa saa yesu egusu ehwehwede mamu ye pa wo fia se ye nchakora yenya kwan bi e befa so aba beyi mu afiri ho ye ne empenifo ekasa na no mampanye kufo aduwie no okirem se ejapa ba bi ade ne kika kona ni enyanyo se Ukraine China fo dia bo ani na fango ne bo no nso eba be kosoro anu no fango so bo kosoro pe na ade haw ne ye nie aba se ba bi etu fango bue ya na adwa ma hodo so ne kitekita wo mo enti se ne ba ne sa pe na ye nye wo foma se no ye hye ho e kire ye papa oru akojo opon kruma ne kasa ye ade ema Ghana mampanyin wase enei entokwansi ye po na fango buo furu fem se sukonkon na entokwa atiesie ene bo ye be ye den de nyasam ketwa na enu mo de ye di ba ye ene nkrofo asase ne ye ko ye ncheye ena aban ato fango mu prebe ye aduasa prebe ye aduonum 20 cities no de ato so abandada no emfinhia nwotwe watu mu 11 Ghana cities pe aba we se die koto bekuma obu no sehwe sese mo hwe ne ntokwa atiesie no ye ene Ghana fo ye bebre papa sese ya mika sei ya to achenti ade bu mo isa se fango bo akosoro sara ne ne mabo so aye de ne ntokwa atiesie amamienu ntem ye na Putin kura wo huma bo kakra na wo nye bibi mfa hom ye kan na ja behwe na sunyam no aba ne se okoso a wo ye atwuma bebo ayenya ene ma ne bo beba fom kakra de amaye enti sese de fango no ediyo edi na ye tie ba bie na monya mo ntokwa ne yenso ye bu kese na bie ya se akwakoduru ne emu odi yo
eda no na ise na de ko baba wala bua to nwi mpa awo funtum wo sa bata na Ghanaian Times enim ha ye je wa kan na na mampanin so kan ana plans gwa kwemu apetre kura wo mu be ha ate so ye nkwati awom Ukraine fo nso asa akwafa asem haba na Ukraine fo asem wo mu akwafa abai mampanin trese woda wona that's why say what is going on already kura petrol buo baby anam young company for far advance akwanim pass buo ebetumi ayi kakra tisi ayi one kwati ya say a price of Brent crude oil across $100 per barrel na nam say across $100 per barrel ne de that is a poi asamuaba ebi beka yen enti kakakra ya tun ponki ya manage kakra nkra na hye Russiafoɔ bɛkɔ santokwe ya katro mu sɛ Russiafoɔ ade amu ye ade asam bɛba enti munjai muntaso anyashi munya menka nipa na nwonwi obi afum mpo a obi fum kuma ya mfum nya Russiafoɔ muntaso ya pata wo mu ɔno akura de na no tun ade wo mu yi wo mu nyai ane sɛhwɛ wo mu antie futuo bebrebe wi ase nyinaa de ma ye ene wo mu ato akɔsɛ Ukraine foɔ so a wo mu sibam wo mu bu wo mu botro na saa buru wei petro buo no agya wa adwa bebi abɛkɔ akoduru na sisi ampo na ya $100 per barrel asat January no na per barrel no na ndusa entukwa sa asia pe na per barrel asa pega kosiri nti definitely ya moya boswe na akawo na ntu a akawo to eni nso nya na ehunanya nti ne bo na bia esan akobi
Katafe tosu edu enmiensa ewo graphic mu enamigine na osofo abedi akire a wono na hwe ahoodene so owura William Oreku edu na ekomra hyebedwam na eno na panyina wotea edomdodo no beche majority chief whip a wono kroya so yensawam adoagiri mra hyebedwani onumanyafo Frank Anodompre ebisa osofo abedi akire se anyanyembia no ebe bosumi evinjia nwotwenie no sika yetwia ade ama hoodene anwumaku ahodo a omonye abadia na omosumye no eyese wonchechire mu enkyere yen na wopanyin no ebuase ne se sesi amekasa die efimfie mpimienu ani edu ensia 2016 ebepim June dim bosome no ewo mfie mpimienu ani aduonu mienu ma aduonu baakom eye afrase ni mu no sika aban atwia ade ama independent power producers no eye 16.45 billion Ghana cedis na chese sika ketu akora wachiche mu anu wo se eye IPP fo no enya 12.09 billion Ghana cedis na fuel suppliers omo ma ya hoodene eti se fango ni mframaja hodo no omoso ade no eye 4.36 billion Ghana cedis na we nyina da mu no eye abanu atwia ye fma eye electricity company of Ghana omo afam ne egina ye atwia ya we egusu e ma ahoodene no ekoso pa enti obubu ni kakra akra chire mu breakdown no wode ma yenya na o chire mu se ye hwe ahoodene hye ye ahodo a omo ademaye na eboye pa sie nim se ye ahoodene ne yenya adi free nsuo mu no akosuo mu nkane ade esa ne esina ye pane no sese no ensuo ne ho ode ne so ate ade abafom ena buidi nso osi wonu mu ese bui wo buyi so ye de yo eno so enhyeda anya yisa edi akofa car power fo edi omo aba besi ne yapagya kosi kumase edi mpempi no aya ne yabomoden edi fango agum na amaye nkane a ena ankwankwa nwumakuo bi so tintintintim fidi a omo akasa eya ahoodene omo di bi ma Ghana fo eno na kan bi ema yeda kane mu 24/7 days a week edum ne pe na Ghana fo ya som ya no fiase bo pay sankrofo bo ayempa entini nyada mu no aban adi sika atwia sese de yapim so ekọ yanimu a wachire mu se aban ebo adwuma
na wadi aban Ghanaian Times secretary to so wedunso an wacha se asojafo bi a wo mu trase wo mu na wo mu stop galamsey fo no ekọ kro bi a yefro no se ntobroso ewo atumamponia district ya wa santimantem na bra wo mu du ntobro so no na excavators no ya park esi wo wura bi fie excavators be ye miensa esifie ensi kwaye mesifie wa pa na sojafo bi sa se efie wa dia vaccines no na asamre man ya wo empotem wo jon kwabena demfi katre asojafo no se military men sa excavators esifie ensi kwaye mu ameto se wo mu de ye gadam se enti niwura we de temmemu wa ha yase mu nkwakwayem mu kwakwayem a bebi a nsuo wo no obi de excavator akwasu ana tamfan na wo se nsuo ana kwaya enne yase mu nkɔ stop wo mu excavators yesifie nso de mo ba beteda atumu ayedai asamre ma se na no ansi ohun yansa asojafo yi adi petrol petepete ade no so excavators yesisi fie ewa no mu twa datum asi excavators ni nyina nti omu wie ya no enam se gya ne ya buruburuburu nti na asa fie ni nyina aka ho asojafo ya amfanso ho omu wie no omu tisi kwayem omu koye excavators o menya bia no omu tagatum excavators o menya bia no omu tagatum ena kromu o mabu no se ahene ha togbo ye yampene en omu sesa anse kampontimba obi owo tuo nkofamra omu nso kwasesa omu nioma en omu digu asojafo yi so asojafo ni timiri awurade na bo a omu en omu tumi dwane free kromu wono ntempa na nka ya nti asamde enka dese ewo ntobro so beti asojafo yi abo omu bi asanem na asamre ma ne trese enibre pa na wonkofo mu ene sade mabunu ni gi toboy asojafo nyame na di wo mu ho afofie ena wo mu dwane ye na no no watrese ade asojafo ne ye no ento asum anya kura wabetu excavators esinkofo fie na motagya atum asimachines no asifie ni nyina aka ho wane ban ene wo ma ye nto mu srem panimfo so ma da woroma ade asojafo no be ye wo ntobro so no wo mu nse no wo mu nka ho asam anya sa pa ade a soja ni bia wo betu ni na si krom wonom no ahwa amonti asem de
Katafe tosu du miensa ewa graphic mu ana medaso ginayin na wodi obefo bafo agemadu amfo nyine abakane na woye United Nations eye governance advisor na nisma worker nada ene se ekwan ya Ghana ye faso epa wo bi se wo mra meye abato komisa anase omeye opanyino ba behwe abato so no eye niema bia esi etimi ehwe de biemu obefo bafo agemadu a ekira no wo se se abato komisa benya ne fa ahudie na wade ne ho aye adwuma no eye ade bia eboa ma amanyosemu tokwa no emakora eti se ya hwe anka no yie na yensiesie no yie ntemu ya wanhwe anada achi bi no ede ohaw aba esa se hwe amanya hodo atwe ye ho ahia no a aya na kuku no eta akoso epepi no ebia ne yeto abawie na ntiase anya adwuma sesabi abato komisa no ne nsa no chia kɔ baabi ehweda enkwa na edinchi wahyew na aba wase hwe afe apem hankono aduokono mienu eye 1992 constitutions ye de eye amamra yi a akade adi pefese ese aban no ene pawo abato komisa no na so ese e pawo abedwakuo a enipa dunum 50 wamuo no mo etenase eye nhwemu asa na de obisa ne sanyem bia no abedwakuo no omutimi ye adwuma no sene ye sene fata na obenfo ageman kasa ebra na eba bambo hyehyeye national security seminary na ekoso we enetosu edu enum ade efa PC asumdue bambo nhwemu ewo University of Professional Studies eno enkraha na asemtia na daso ene se eye abato ene amamuo ekoso atoye afamuo no adesuade ese Ghana yetimi ehia firimuo na yenya se ema entokwa biara ensie na oman no eyeye aya ne ye debo ye wosafo hene na Ghana de wa asumdue Ghana de bambo koso Ghana de te ye ho ase na ebomu no se yanka abi anhyem ne ahwe ne mayi a enema betimi agensi mesanse amya hodo no a entokwa sisuo no enhyase dakrope eye no fo sa na age wom asebora sogya no enti wo kan na kabma mi kabini ese ye di eye adwuma no de yɛmɔmɔden na kabuma mi ka binu nya adwuma yie na se yɛ pa obi sɛ abato komisa enka aban no ngi adwenkyerɛ emfamfiri benkum kɔ nifa na ofa mesi mfimfiri nkɔ akyire ne animu ansa no wapori pa so mesi anaso benten wɔde na bɛkyerɛ Ghanafoɔ no obisa Ghanafoɔ sɛ mo pɛ no yɛka sɛ ane a yɛgyina toma ma na yɛ adwuma enti ɛba ne saa ne yɛto abawie a na akwakɔ yɛ asomdwe sa sɛ de yɛpɛ no wɔ ɛna tena mu hwɛ yɛ ma abatoɔ no kɔ so saa
a telepo center spread wɔde aba no wɔtɛ sɛ ɛnra asen central mrasɛbɛgyani Kennedy akompre ko Japan asa keka no ho bio na we deɛ nipa a wɔde gyina no so ayɛ onanyamfoɔ yɛ aboabia Samoa ɔyɛ director of communications ma MPP amanyoko no na wɔka kyerɛ yɛ aboabia Samoa sɛ wonim na so wɔde na samba wɔno Kennedy Japan so a wɔbɛma ne tane afiri kuro yi mu na wɔka kyerɛ MPP amanyoko mpanimfoɔ sɛ wɔn mu anka nkyerɛ yɛ aboabia Samoa na saa tobo no a wɔyɛ no wɔngyae wɔno Kennedy Japan obɛgu party no obɛgu party no ma ɛnyɛ mampani na nadeda nkɔ Akufo-Addo ɛne Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia ano wɔmanim bɛgu ase o ɛhɔ party no bɛ collapse a ɛntumi nsɔre bio anase video no a na ɔyɛ anase no sɛ wɔka sɛ release anase video no pa anase video so wɔ release ɛde ato abɔnten a anka party no ebe collapse sɛ team na woka sɛ deda no wɔyɛ ya wɔ ha anase gu anase anim aseɛ na yɛde ntia ta anase video no Kennedy Japan wɔtrɛ sɛ wɔgyae anase video no mu to fam sɛ team na bɛtɔ fam party ni nyina be collapse campaign na nado benya ne tafa na be de etire Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia so benya ne tafa ebegu amanim asia ma enya no na eno wasam kra na opeso woka tire party mpanimfo ne se they should talk to ya aboabia Samoa anya sa na se ya aboabia Samoa ade na samba no se na so so ni mu a ho wo so ni mu a ade ode be no na wono Kennedy Japan ka asam edefa na hwana opɛ adwoasafo asamte wɔ no Kennedy Japan obi a wɔne no wɔ mamie no enko bɛba bɛhuru ne ntuma fu abɔnten na wɔka asam a yɛ papa wo yɛ aboabia Samoa wote wana wonso yɛ na suspend him why na betumi a suspend no party no anase video no or katra MPP for say ɛda so wɔ hɔ ɔwɔ copy a ɛno yɛ ande tie ojato from say team party ni nyina be collapse enti wo mu ne ya aboabia Samoa wo chen wo mu
Kata fe to so dunsia e wo graphic mu na megine na onimonyamfo wusu Benito bio e na wo kasa wa hase yo so afa be de akira wo no na sase ene obade de pa no e de na bam ahye ye no na wasise wo hwe aman ahodro wo bibire atoya from West Africa countries no a entokwa atiesi suo no a ese Ghana ni Cote d'Ivoire ye kaya tampo ano na yahye ahodo so ne bo ho ban na obi amfamu ama maguru asomdwe ne ho agura ama enema bi ense fata ankoso ewa ama no mienu entem wacha wase so obi abodwu se hyepe no wase nsuo de esu da bi de se de osara de atom na wahwe wabɔ ho ban enti ne ekoso se ohwe gini na yetu abayegu mali yetu abayegu wakina faso hayiye soro ya wo fa soro no mo ana kyese waduo mo betimi kura pa na ntia koi ɛhɔ kromatu abayegu eti na anina kwakoye nyase keka basa enti Ghana so ye ne Cote d'Ivoire fo ye bo hye pa ɛna saa ma no mienu so ye ka ɛba kokwa egyinaye mienu entem kente kura no yefira enti yete ye ho ase kwa miesa mienu bi so eti ese etimi bomode ne yehwesiesie ne yenu nti ɛna mo aye enhyiemu pɛ kwampon befa so a Ghana ne Cote d'Ivoire ahye no ye bɛbɔ ho ba ye ɛno na dwumadie no ɛkɔ ɛwɔ nkran ɛno no onimonyafo wuso eye owusu Benito bio edi tu dwa kyerɛkyerɛmu ɛsɛ de edi kan de ma bambon senka ni koyie papa na ama ɔmanfo no a ɛwɔ saa amani mienu entem so no ye ne ɔmo ɛkasa difa asomdwie ho ye ne ɔmo kasa difa enipa bi ɔmo bɛfrafra yemuo ebia na obi aba kuromu hwɛ ne ye ne sunu ne ban a utimu sɛ nipa we sɛ de onya enema bɔne bi ɔbɛyɛ ɛba etuo ene akodi ahodo a ebedi nkrɔfo asɛm no so ɛsɛ etimi hwɛ na ye ka ho asɛm na ama asomdwe no akɔso yie na aman no mmienu no akɔso adi ɔmo nkui ɛwɔ asomdwe mu a obia ɛmɛtete wɔn wɔ eti nhyiamu no ɔmo mmienu nyinaa adwene akɔ benkurom sɛ ɔmo yɛ ɔmo afa mu die biada ama bambɔ ɛne asomdwe ɛna afei so democracy no ɛtumi akɔ yie papaapa ɛwɔ mo ntɛm.
Need 100.9 Ghana Montie Sunu Asiogwe. Let me get through some of the comments. Anope Moti Aba Atemu Ewa Hanum saying 826 na Abo. I'm afraid my party NPP will lose their next election because of the current situation with the fuel prices. If they can do something about it, it will be better. That's Yawedu Silver Corner and Odi Free and Wadiba. Yeah. President Akufo-Addo and his government should spare our ears of not being able to pay salaries of workers if their so-called e-levy is not passed. Anafina naku anodi eno ebaye. The lies and baseless propaganda of the NPP communicators leave much to be desired. Such a fake news about retired Honorable Speaker granting Honorable Adra Safo permission to stay away from Parliament is ridiculous. I think the majority is desperate. Alhaji Willie P. Fiekuma Enodi by Fidel Takrade was say, let me congratulate friends of a big thanks up to Echo the Sosu Okoto Rasta or see too often we disqualify ourselves. We think it wouldn't have happened if we had more faith or hadn't made so many mistakes or were just good enough to deserve it. But God is full of mercy and doesn't bless us based on our performance. That's Echo the Sosu. Ukala Jonas Adia from Kerry, it's quite sad to hear Ukraine and Russia experiencing such security unrest. It's my prayer that there's a consensus between these two countries for amicable resolution. Mukaila Jonas Adia from Kerry. Since Honorable Bagbin became Speaker of Parliament, the image of Parliament has gone down completely. Aban Bagbin is incompetent. Sule, Minyani, Enodifi, Enodibai. I want to ask the special prosecutor that how far is the issue of some parliamentarians' double salary going? Kojo Trumpet and Odiwe Debaye from Bubuashi. Sarah Joseph, MP for Domiko Abinya, and the indisciplined and incompetent Gender and Social Protection Minister should be sacked immediately because she's a disgrace to womanhood. What in Denmark? Hey, what's that? This special prosecutor petitioned over Canada Japan's claims against Adwoa Safo. Do people think this petition will reach somewhere in the MPP as MPP is in power? Ablade Efiekuma and Odifi and Odbai. Russians have started riding the alliance to Ukraine, killing innocent people all because of money and power. Let's all pray it won't turn to something else. That is one here coming from Ochiniba Kwame Braku or the Fitaifa. Yahuza, Suame. Every tax is evil, but the e-levy is a necessary evil looking at where the world is today, whereby all countries are generating revenue internally to revive their economies from the shocks of COVID-19. Therefore, we must sacrifice to help ourselves as Ghanaians. Yahuza, Swami, and Odifri and Odebai. Nana Ekwamwa Boateng Edifi Ablekuma say Ghanaians should brace themselves more for economic downturn as a result of the spillover effect of Vladimir Putin's attack on Ukrainian government. Nana Ekwamwa Boateng. The life of Ghanaians who live in Ukraine and Russia matter most. Government should make arrangements to convey them or to evacuate them to Ghana for their safety. That's Rainbow Kaswa and Odiano Ebaye. Amisco Spelele was say it's so unfortunate to witness Russian-Ukraine crisis. Indeed, lessons must be learned from this war to protect us from future occurrences. I expect the IGP to act immediately to invite the Chief of Staff concerning the bribe money she gave to Adrasafo through Kennedy, Japan. If not, he can't invite anybody on any bribery allegation. Mesha Kasante from Abusokai. What is bribe? How do you say is bribe?
Ghana Montie na mansanya so adawroko fiaman homene so ejiji tonton sansan ewo neat 100.9 FM.
Yeguso mibo miba.
Ghana Montie.
Hey, catch it. Listen in here. And you ma beto to dia me baba no hwade no. Hwem so betumi a. Hey, asew. Hey, now beka. Ya John to mami ensa duku portmanteau. This way chocolate drink. Na kan wo hwe afibian so beri ni waware ni a. This way chocolate drink. Na kan ya. Oh, asew. Wo den kan no ntumu ho. Me be mo anu nso hye kura de aka ho. Wo hwade e wapi ho. O ka se batete eda fom wo.
This way chocolate drink.
Catch up be baba ware.
Asew.
Ye fi say this way chocolate drink ya sorry anopa no ne yenom ye bi hye fridge nom no se snack ye nya hoho a no ne de serve wo mo ye didi wie ne ye pe bibia bogu ya de so a this way chocolate drink ne yenom and this way no ti ano a he se kire wom kokko wom prick wom bibia wom ade wo hia ne so se
This way chocolate drink.
de wo hia ani so se
FDA ahwehwe se adwede nkrato mu agye atum se eye.
What's cool, fresh and trendy with a new look? Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you glow. Anytime, anywhere. Specialized feel different. Always think specialized. Special Ice Natural Mineral Water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Oh, there's some pop. Kasia bo. Kowaka temunsa. Amaya se. Kwesi abwaye. Onye yimu. Nukretrodo. Kamadine kamadine bo. Nita fe. Mayentie. Kwesi abwaye 100.9. Kwesi bonkwe.
Forward march we go. More from the newspapers. Anope yang twaso na yang ji kwesi abwaji metie dwem kwabena mafo ene ekua ejiwa kodie wo mo kame ho yako
Abusuafo Democrat the Leaders Party animu ha ana odi ekuku damumfo ni abetua His Excellency the Vice President Dr. Alhaji Mohammed Bawumia Nedikan Dr. Kofi Kuredu Apreku ononso tuaso Alan Kojo Chiramante John, Honorable Minister for Trade and Industry, ononso waha, ana Ononyamfo Jogate, Urabu Atie Jako, ana Honorable Dr. Efri Yakoto, Omunyina Foni Ewaha. Na Ejampenisa Akonyato Fia this year nyina to me. Dr. Richard Amuakuba, and what I say. Ye dia papa nka tete tempo na pa abofo kane Dr. Mohammed Bawumia ya party no ya ma no kranke ni kwampo se ba ne tirimu da se wo be contest se flag bearer na kwa pen be bia tene din na wajai na wo mu edi line no so te salan ko dotre mantin wo mu atoato aso nyina wo mu abansa no waba na no na no obiribu ahe tere se woni Dr. Amuakoba anya adene na sadia Ghana situation ni circumstance ya fa ne yourself nipa wo betumi aye savior edi ama Ghana aye Dr. Mohammed Bawumia awu wayi obi a waya one of the finest economists ya wabe pa wonim economy no sadia obeti turn things around but adeɛ no sɛ woyɛ mate a ɛyɛ different from sɛ bi a wotwi hyɛn no sɛ drɔbani deɛ ɔne wɔɔtie nti ebi a mate wobɛtɛn sɛ fa nso baabi a wɔno pɛ sɛ obu fa but sɛ Dr. Mamadou Bawumia abɛyɛ flag bearer no wɔbɛdi president a ɛgya wadwo a sɛdeɛ Ghana bɛyɛ paa ɛnyɛ agorɔ koraa nti wɔno deɛ sɛ Ghana tibia mu sisie yi sɛdeɛ baabi a yɛafa no yɛ self yi the best bet ɛma MPP ɛyɛ Dr. Mamadou Bawumia ɔno pɛ woyi ne firi wɔnom a obi ani wɔnti Dr. Richard Amuakoba na Daroma wɔkyerɛ n'adwene deɛ but wɔno na no wɔbiribu ahenso pɛ so wɔkyerɛ ne sɛ nipa a wɔbɛtumi asevu MPP at this critical moment deɛ ɛyɛ Dr. Alhaji Mamadou Bawumia.
Ratafa eno etoso du anan ewo Chronicle Democrat ceremony. Wade Madam Justina Usuba na henifo nyine ababono mantam ne soafo. Mami kasa no so no your battle nti de wo ken wo kafia asem. Wase ka ne kasa baya ne otene fie sua de yo pa. Ene ma yo maba de social media so no mobo mu nkrodu o mabrabo. Enti amane ma nkoye wo mabrabo ma yetroka. Wase abaya bitimi be gyina social media so no wo bu ni mu pa nya asem ketwa. Obu ni mu sa akokono. Krama che no o che no se wo po wo. Abonte so kra no ma yo made ja to so yesi bi ba bi de TikTok. Eni a TikTok su ipe ni kohwe. Sɛdeɛ mɛyɛ si huri dwamu ni ye pɛ mu ni ye ha mu nyina agu hɔ. Ya hwene ni ye pokue sɛdeɛ ya bo ani wodua. Ghana ma ya mfɛre ya de.
Na first SD pank ye betwa ye betu asen. SD nki ye betu asen. Wonam yin na wo de wanwe ni abetu.
Ma ya mfɛre ya na makro wa ye. Ɛdeɛ enti no amasese no aniwo kropo ni nipa ni so. Na kakane tete no na ke kasa abaya ne ni okata ne usie sa ketesia. Na ka wudi umami echia no papa ukọ afuom ba ansa na wabesena ko school. Enwumere wabọ mode ahuru nkukuo mu wakọ nsuo. Enya asem debi ni na ka ho bi. Na enwumere no atena fie mu kaase papa bi aye aduane. Ye kasa aduane ene ni aduane no. Enei kohwe Ghana ma ya kasa onye nkwa pa na asema ba. Wo kacha abaya se wonye nkatenkwa na nka pesa benkwan. Dai soup crop woni mu ye. Se nkatie no obeye ne de wo hunu da. Enka me hu ye abaya de sene ye ba beye nkatenkwan de akokọ na eba beye. Obo modi ama akokọ yi. Wadwa ne kama waisiesie hu awohoro ho papa bie. Waye makoni giene.
I love that kubolo ne. Baby. Ozisenti a on power re so woni mu aduane.
Enti ono osihwe. Yesi akokọ na de ba beye nkwan ya. Unyu akakaduro ba kakra. Wanya ojene kakra. Wanya hwentia kakra. Pepreso kakra. Waka ni nyina de egu ayuwam. Uwia de mako kakra ka ho. Na udi gie na atum. Watchi no wapoto yi omnya blender ye ne ya be ya. Amba bibia ye nsuo tekayo yi. Uchi no wa ahmanu so madwuma no kontem. Uchi no wapoto yi wam. Na afise fi kofi ko. Watete ade egu akokọ nam ya ahoro ne kama. Ade egu nchensen kwa yi muei. Udi esi wo kakra ma na dondo awurawura mu. Uwia wo yi a wodi abai. Your friend say, unkati ya kotoba ye, what it say? At the end of minimum ye. Bada 200.
Ewa dame ejewa SD ni mediane. Woni mediane ye. Obi awa kwa SD ni mediane.
Open katin kwan. Ense ni ebi ape jollof. Tebi ape jollof nsu de ese ne makom. Enti eja, neka waye bibia obọ nkwan ase kakra. Na waye bibia kama, se ya abenso na abeya, ukoto wa abebe wa wohoro ho, wodi abemduro kakra framu, na wabọ modin awo. Wodi bedru. Na wodi eyi, upe, ubetimi kropo de pekese na noa abe no. Na uwo petimi awurawura mu kama.
Unya akrantie bini nso a ubetumi de af.
Ahombemon.
Dabi ebi de akrantie bini ye wo mu de ye.
Ena ayi enkate abenkwan so de aye yentamfa na mo no ye eyesa nheda anye de. Odi na mo adwan no. Ukoda unya adwene kakra ma ne kakra Leja wo dia baba ye oh no what to say e ho no mai ne hwehwe
e was dia ya hwe adwene
oh ye wa adwene ye wa mpatoa enam ne ye hwe ho no sa me de kasa adwene ne hina ya adwene
Kofi ade sen kware kakwa yetu ni
ansuomunam adwene ne pitire no ya amu adwene amu kire pitire ye ni ti aye tratra no
aha no hototo
kanfro no ye fre ni pitire ye ya sante fo no de ye fre ni pitire
no hototo
aha enu ye fre ni pitire enu ye wo mpatoa
ne de ya twere ho no
aha no ye de tilapia ye fresh no
na wonya de ya ho no so
na de ya ho na chese no no na wanya amane no kakra wonya meyo so kakra eja edwade ana unya so person ye life super wie bi tentem so a eno kwaji beef kakra waje amane kakra waje adwen kakra na wanya eye amane de ya ho no so kakra na awie bie oh my goodness na wo de prekesa atum na ofufuo yi eja wote ho na wudi nkruma so ta na pampem na chese eno ne ye fra wo se wo ba a waye aduane ehu se de be ma yesi 7 wo table so wo ba bia wo de atreto enye etu abewo so social media so akọ wo nto pane amena hurihuri
ajewa ndi anka jajajajaj ebi so wo betu suto no mpa aduane do de ye dai
obefa ku
wa so ebi so wo mo peto enti ndi jajajajaj
ene ya wari ya cha busumi miense ene ya wari ya cha busumi miensa ne na wotwe mienu na chese agu eti oba de fa wonsa ya ade wo fie ene emese wusi a omode sa atade ne kon no bepusa ne yempa chompusa mane nte mane mpa so pusa atade ne kon no yie uwia na motom na waba jeans no ano no di mu jeans kropo ba yi ayensi ubo na de ache plate na de ache freezer ye koyi ya na ayemu no jeans no me ha so ko si ukoyi ya ayemu no asa approve no ahya wa de ohu enti oba de fa wonsa ya de usori a prapra ufie animu wabo mode na wapepa wadwa ye akacha na nsabia kese otwetwe adwaye na na adwumentu de na watwe bia na ko twetwe adwaye kama na wonu mayehwam anwumire oba beda wudwade papa bia wape spray ano ne ye ma kakra na de bia gugu ho waje 19 so dance no about the bridge o da naked na sesa na da dia eno so da umpa wo sori pole ni kama eni e friend say oba ne maya ya ba de sori ya ni atiesim ya sori ya ni atiesim ye di mu hwe eni ye didi abonte didi ena ya kutukutu ni esisi wo anajudu mieru ni edi indomie anajudu miensa ni edi ayi spaghetti ye di wa hwan na ye wei na ye
se ya me wan was west di maya na omunya akase o ntian na pa no ukonkurase a de nipa ne tutume boti se nkofie na nentu bo kama enu ya boti
ene mema propoto yi wa ho ayi choba emma be ko no ba poto yi wa kese ne si na no se den aduani magi nko a na waje na wagu no to wasesa de na nye ne yentena fie ne mobra enti wasra wofo ne nyina se kane tete atempon no yensan ko famra na yenti e mama ya ne ntena se ne yekire omwade no mu fie ade yoro mokwa aware omatimi ache no monkasa so abrabo no abanyam amabi aka omo ho amabibia ye di amom
Need 100.9 Ghana Montie sino asio go enche de bon krata na de bebe wie akasema be dunum na nkono abo ebi wo emu na enra enkomo bi e course wo ye mra hyebedwem yentie kakra na yemra speaker asem bi a wo kan mehu se amanfo dodo na ebi kasafa ho na yentie senia enkomo no call ye bra deputy minority chief whip edi kan kan sembi nsemo odi tu dwa wie na deputy majority leader nso be kasa yansa na speaker edi sa asemi ba be tu dwa yentie mra hyebedwem enra
on his rendition. Just to add, Mr. Speaker, on last week, Friday, the chair gave a directive that the leadership, together with the Minister of Finance and the Administrator of Common Fund, to reconcile on the DA's local government committee to reconcile the figures on the District Assembly Common Fund. and report back to the House on Tuesday, next week Tuesday. But today is Thursday. So if the deputy leader, once we are adjourning, to take it up, tomorrow is our last working day. We must be able to convey that meeting and be able to generate a report so that Tuesday we'll brief the chair that this is how far we've gone with it. I'm being hinted by the ranking member on local government that even the reporting day should have been Tuesday, the past Tuesday. So it's like we've not been able to do the assignment that was given to us. But still, if the Speaker, the deputy leader will liaise with the ministers so that we can do that meeting and report back to House. So that every day the tension on release, non-release, variation of the figures of the District Assembly Common Fund will be brought to finality. So that is what I want to add. We are still in your hands, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Deputy Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the sentiment having been regularly communicated, same shall be conveyed. Thank you.
Honorable members, the information at my disposal, this is not to discourage the committee from doing their work. If something is not done within the next 3 months, government may not even be able to pay salaries. So we have to take leadership. We have to do a lot of things. For this, the House is accordingly adjourned.
Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie, Ghana Montie.
All the sampa Kasia bo Kowaka Tawansa Amaya sa Kasia Waye
Onye Yimu Nukretrodo Kamadine Bo
Nita Fe
Mayentie Kasia Waje 100.9
Enti ani na ebo ma menra e wo ye mra hyebedwem na esi ye speaker asem o kan e bi se okoso fear and panic na akwa ti se ni osika na sa bibia nsi a wanhwe aboso miensa da enim na che se aban kora ntumi ntu adwumafo ka di enti na ma o kan na sa ye mpenfo e se bia nka betumi causing fear and panic
yeah wa kra woni onabo amen status come enti amo mo adwuma ya ahomete da me didi se sika wo ho pa de a but ye ho kan no na ya ye no enye easy because of akwesi won say assemblies ni nyina no na wo mu de boabua wo mu kakra
I was saying workers and I yenye sika ntu omoka
na metra say those state assembly common fund no kura ntumi nko it could be possible because can anywhere
but so and common for this assembly common fund and I mean that's what I mean ekwiansu ebusa so ade say this be a share that tie ni yebio yentie common be efi buy
on his rendition. Just to add, Mr. Speaker, on last week Friday the chair gave a directive that the leadership together with the Minister of Finance and the Administrator of Common Fund to reconcile on the DA's local government committee to reconcile the figures on the District Assembly Common Fund and report back to the House on Tuesday, next week Tuesday. But today is Thursday. So if the deputy leader, once we are adjourning, to take it up, tomorrow is our last working day. We must be able to convey that meeting and be able to generate a report so that Tuesday we'll brief the chair that this is how far we've gone with it. I'm being hinted by the ranking member on local government that even the reporting day should have been Tuesday, the past Tuesday. So it's like we've not been able to do the assignment that was given to us. But still, if the Speaker, the deputy leader will liaise with the ministers so that we can do that meeting and report back to House. So that every day the tension on release, non-release, variation of the figures of the District Assembly Common Fund will be brought to finality. So that is what I want to add. We are still in your hands, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Deputy Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the sentiment having been regularly communicated, same shall be conveyed. Thank you.
Honorable members, the information at my disposal, this is not to discourage the committee from doing their work. If something is not done within the next 3 months, government may not even be able to pay salaries. So we have to take leadership. We have to do a lot of things. For this, the House is accordingly adjusted.
So government may not be able to pay salaries. And for salaries because is it a year district assemblies no omaketua why ejumafo aketua speaker chechim so chechim and is what otimi chechim menyanti akra say na kra so be share as a senior journalist so otimi ochim there be mother bre
year 2 bofotene year 2 inse bofotene
me say mother but that's not the topic or the subject. Yeah, no, assembly say near speaker cano that Bosume Bay me answer. He are buying. Say you see a cano dear.
When yam.
Will be saying with speaker say, "Oh no, tia abayju my foka." Speaker, yes, you now tia abayju my foka. Who now your finance minister? But you see, yes, but one thing to
why are number 3 yo? Why are number 3? The cow why are number 3? Maybe because we win him.
Commissioner one family. No,
and yes, and I
workers bay.
Number 3 gentlemen of the land.
Government workers in general to say teachers, nurses, doctors, and others. Nana say, why was the mana parliamentarians in the intimate Oboka?
Number 3 gentlemen of the land. Gentlemen fan of one.
And now one can hear me and Yanti as the any day. It's also custom to one, so will be a church and I do one year at Adriamount. Custom I see the be crunu way a Nina Federation. Into a man on make church me and Yassi. It's me a can that she be unfraid. You know my number.
Need 100.9 Ghana MONTIE media sino asogo. Let me just get through min kind comments ni bi anope na yenko yenim ewo dwumadie no. So I'm always concerned about Ghanaians in Ukraine. May God protect our children there. That one here from Dan from Achim Ejafo. Eno dia no fi eno de bae. Chief Manuel Tonsu was say it's so unfortunate that UTAG members have voted against their leadership decision to call off the strike action. Please, much as UTAG wants government to meet all their demands, even in these hard economic times, they should also show good faith in all their dealings and do the needful. Shifman Atonsu Enodifi Enodibaye. So is Afenyo Makin telling us, Honorable Afenyo Makin telling us that without e-levy, our people in Ukraine can be brought home? That is one here from Simon Azaleko from Agbugba, EP down. Honorable Kujeto Ablakwa is fond of scoring cheap political points. He did the same thing during the advent of COVID-19 pandemic, insisting government go to China to evacuate a student, which later proved to be premature. You should give us a break. Ni Akwe Ewo North Kaneshi Eno. Please, 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 please. This is not about politics. The government of Ghana cannot do anything. Have you heard that any country have gone to bring their citizens? The USA and other countries told their citizens to leave, but they didn't provide. Okay, they didn't provide what? They didn't add your name. where you send us the message from. I said, I see the Bible, I say, we drop. What Russians are doing to the Ukrainians is undemocratic. This needless attack is going to bring hardship to the developing countries. The earlier USA, Britain, Japan, and Germany came together, the better it will be for us. Yao Sankiri, Ewoye, Taifa, and Wadi and Obaye. NPP government has been people-oriented or people-centered, and every single policy we have implemented has brought comfort to the citizenry. Today, Ghanaians can sit in the comfort of their homes to renew their NHIS, open bank account, and so on. I entreat Ghanaians to support the government to deliver on its mandate. Erikus ewo fiapre ahimfie enimu eno dia no baye. My leaders and rulers connect with love, compassion, empathy, and faith in their hearts. May the light be present on the planet Earth, and may all its inhabitants live in love, happiness, and tranquility. Amen. Abdul Basit, Dongo Pania, and Odia Nufi, and Odebaye, KWASI man Kasi. The reality of the Ghanaian economy has exposed the Nana Baumia-led government. High cost of living, price of goods and services keep on increasing day in and day out. Enoch, Asaman Kesi, and Odifi, and Odebai. You see, ask the striking Utah lecturers if they can look into the face of God and shamelessly demand their February salaries. Savior, Adenta. Why? You don't want them to be paid? It seems NPP party executives had agenda less than 100 seats in parliament. They are implementing, and they will succeed in bringing it from 169 to 137. Okay, they succeeded, right? That's what you mean. But they still want to bring it further down. Ray, and what do we buy? Need 100.9 Ghana MONTIE, so I don't want to go. And if yada February need that also eduonu enum anope yakegum egumpa yakwenim. There one krata no still. Ekuane kwabna hanum say. Ain't you?
Yo, Chronicle krata fe to so miensa na me we na chiame hene. Eye Orua Urban Smana Kingsford Bagbe na ekasa yi. Na wochema no osi ne nkrofobia hyase ekasa eno no nyafo saradwa safo ko beti tumi permission efri ayi achiame hene wansa na woko eno osi da bi wamagi tumi bi emfri menche mama ne kwa bia so nko ba bia ne yakopon ya adoma enne ye ba setena ensem bi ha me ameka ho asem mrahye ni bi ede akwadworo aye niamo ho de wo mabrabo mu akyese omo ndwi wo mutupo na sabi omo ata omo mamrahye bedwam ye wo mrahye bedwafo bebre nei saradwa safudi na echintre ha ena nkrofo bo enam onmonyamfo Kennedy akompreko Japan adawromanti obi ebon won saa nti wose ene mrahye bedwafo no moma no obeka mu asempa magana fo atia me ehunu empesu akro mo mrahye bedwafo ne ma yakwa akoka ho asem na nsa we kofa baaye no ne se onmonyamfo Samuel Kujeto Ablakwa a wonu ye Northton mrahye bedwani echema no wose ade kropo ena maame saradwa safonko adin na ye body na nsese wo mamrahye bedwam na efiti eye October bosuni de toso aduonu ensia akopum November de toso aduonu enan ewo mfiempi mienu ani aduonu baako 2021 mu no mrahye bedwafo asetena beye du enwotwe ne kooso a anumnum mrahye bedwafo mienu bi omo mama mrahye bedwam da yodi kan yonmonyafo Kennedy akompreko Japan ene onmonyafo Henry Cote Asin Central mrahye bedwani ni ayawaso Central mrahye bedwani na chese Central for no omo mpem mrahye bedwamu bakra omo ama baako kra omo so anyi tumi avanfiri obi anchen enti onmonyafo Kennedy akompreko Japan wa sesere ni hu antwo ene nam radio stations ni baabia TV stations awodo ebo sunje tiregu adwasa futiri so no obisa ne nyem bi ono no wanyefa wo mrahye bedwamu onya aka mi enya etie na obi die na aba boni aba ye ka ho asem wu awode ye hye ntomamuo no eso papa penya asem ketwa obi adwa mammo obo ya akwakonyi munti wo ka ho asem wo wabo akwakoyi egu wo de ye nka ne sei enti munna dam ye dukadaya munya aka ne enya etie enti se we ma won so mentie nei achi amene so behwe aka ho asem e wo mrahye bedwam pa
a tele guide baby entertainment when it's okra page 15 and what the Abrantia Satawale, Infoni Abatuanum say, what is Sida, Tefuano country music for Adiabina, Comoditia Umano, and you been what dear Tiana. Na Papa was Yatasa Canin, no, I have for my time, Mamma Gamro, a friend Resoma, Res Usumafu, one worker say, what Rasa Satawale, one more Tiana Roy artist, I 30,000 Ghana.
But that's who you are now.
What cat on the trough for my time?
That was what I for.
Yeah.
A bams more boom. I know now what Rasa one more to 30,000. And na Satawale Ababontin what I say, and you to an cry, I only see one yai. That wa bonum bebrebe ante say, na afia kwawie ye nkwotu ya royalties mana 30,000. Wa katra gamro fo say, ekwam dimi o, ekwam dimi. And the bro for say, was say we insult them. I am hungry, oh. I want everyone to insult me. I am hungry. Where is my royalties? 30,000. 30,000 Ghana cedis. 300 million. Now what they are they? Obia yire no wabonyum. Aninum. First, the crowd, you know, and bandana from Ghana. Hey, Africa be family. And you may have damn and so. Hey. That time numpo. And the ya a radiadum. But to me, a bonum, top kiss. Now, the man who royalties here. And a gamro for what I say. Woma bakwase muno. Wanu ni nipa omo ties kakasi amano. Ya 30,000 Ghana cedis. Gamro ntua royalties ya tisa. Amanyum tuni biada.
Tilumba nye bisada.
Da bilumba.
Kodionchi nye bisada.
Kodionchi nye bida.
Amati dede
nye bida.
Okoyampo nsamu.
Obie nye bida. Saye kotua royalties ya mawa.
Sa kwadi ekura.
Debi. Obede. Onye bida. Braba Queen Stone Boy. Omunina will be anya 30,000 high. Now, unquayantam 300 million farmer. Now, musicians do I work Ghana and Kayan Benya saying. Now, womatam 30,000 a mawa. Satawade and Cananun to me say, Canisha, a year in short, at the morn on the carrier, and no to one crano, Omu Buna Bem. A year yan and Kafi query. Yes, Satawade royalties. A bear saying, maybe a 3.5 billion. Now sending crying, then you to know to know. I didn't want to know more. What of a peanut, the poor and capri at the Abeku Tower, not Satawade is one yet. Now, what you want when the water crowd of Obo, and in the 10 year Danicum, I say,
you won't idea.
Now, so deserve.
And so deserve any amount of watches to spend 1 year, idea, fetch it.
30,000. And you were dapper, were that and walk at the gamble for say. And I walk a saying and say, Commodino. Sikanisha, woman, Korean woman, and Fabinka.
In your back could be a baby. Happy birthday, this is cake you. Lights on your face. That's happy birthday, you mean your body. For district board. Chronicle the Democrats are the first or soon when I made a bay now or by ya. Now what you say a buying a dinner bushes so. What will you in the bushes so a day a ma addition more a Mansia Central do to bring Potem one more. A money ajepa. A much say Jacobu Quantum Pono. A free a bra yet see a Mansia Central say or to bring Mancini. Na Jacobu Crono e waziano. Yenye kwano da greda krenfa bi mesi so da. Yenye bi da. E kwano wo mu kwansiri no beye brofo kwansiri baako ani achiri pono wo ha ani aduana baako 1.141 kilometers. Na chese no mu hwe ni msi ebeye ne yaba ne yabeka yebeye na chese ngongosi hwe. Sese die Yakopon adom aban edi ne nsa akwa kan sese no Jacobu Kwantimpon no. ya ebekọ mu kama pa ma akọbedie no akọso wano a aye esebo ni anigye ede ama omanfo no a nana abena konadu a odi kan mahima ewo jakobu ene nsentwofo kasa na contractor ni a woye enso ogina kwan no so ode ne nsa kyerɛkyerɛ sɛ aba no edi gene samba pa etwa ne show a enye agoro na no na omanfo no ene nsentwofo di nkomo akyerɛkyerɛmu ɛsɛ ekwan ya idie eyasamde ede mo asese no ebema mumfu na baye no aya na ekanwura mu no abafie amomo aba beton na omanya sika afensu obi eyade a yebetimi ede na to hyemu akwa wahaw ani bibibiara ema wesase na kwan no nyanti no na ama akobadie no enye kankan ne apemfo no na omobre pa abai krachi panyini awo amanse central onimonyafo Michael Donko enso de tudwa kire mu se esese dio no akasa de nani akwa akosi kwan no so enwu se ampa Jakobu kromu kwan ni nyina ye ne fanfan kama etu amoda abai no ase.
Daily Despatch enim ha wode aba no wata say 2021. Census no a wo mu ye na report no agusu be. Na bra wo mu kwa probo wo Ghana fa na nyina no wo mu hu say sie yi afas no anka okase o adese a ewo da amanda da wo mu source of water ye de ya se river pra. Woman so a war a yidunkwa wafe, woman source of water ya dear baya, Yasuo, I have fins you no woman. Labredi and Sioning in our say. And to the whole Ghana, your source of water, I say water. And no, any need that so. A pipe one, Madame, my papa. And a big crowd, me I would be a cry, one pipe and woman be cry. And anka in suitly. Yankofo kobi nkwose nsuo de yo made no eno nso ya de galam say asa nsuo ni nyina nti nsuo ni mu bia ni wonom a ubetumi asa anom enti enayi Ghana ha o pay a source of water ekwan ya ye fa so a ye survive enya nsuo a ye sase water enti se kanetete no ane ye ka we nsuo we no enani wonom bio Ghana, your source of water is
Mobo. Right now, I know perhaps a more story be at Ghanaian Times in meaning Nyokuta Ghanaian Times. Na Ghanaian Times story no. The way who was it Yoko warns public about 2 Ponzi schemes operating online. Na so page 15 of the Ghanaian Times.
Abusiafo Economic and Organized Crime Office ena womo Ghana fo kokose wadawuruma etumekuo bi operate wo online se etumekuo mienu ade a womo ye no kwan bone so illegal online investment schemes na se etumekuo yi Royal Gardens Network ena de etosu mienu Hopta Mobile Money Lending. Ejumekuo mienu yoko fosu omu kata Ghana for say omu operate ewo Ponzi schemes mindia mu amunim na Mame Faustina Latte, head of public affairs yoko and wodi asem ibetu da wotre say omu ayan sisemu ade ababetu da omu katra Ghana for say wonu omu kodi da ekwan no wanim asem bi ebetu bia omu nim wo hwe Royal Gardens Network and a Hopta Mobile Money Lending of a Kwasisa Numa Kwomini, a Ponzi scheme.
Now, so Krata Bio Hanum Sia. If he Hoptel for Honum Sing. Now, was it Hoptel Limited Circular? Hoptel Mobile Money Lending. By a media release dated February 24, 2022, the Economic and Organized Crime Office, YOCO, has identified 2 online investment schemes which it indicates operate within the virtual space via WhatsApp groups. These entities, YOCO indicates, are illegally providing services to the general public that they have not been licensed to provide. Yes, Haptel Limited wishes to let its valued and cherished customers, clients, partners, and the general public know that Haptel Limited has no affiliation, connection, nor any business dealings with the Haptel mobile money lending, nor the other entity being investigated and found to be engaging in illegalities by Yoko. Haptel Limited is registered with the Registrar General's Department and has the approval of the Bank of Ghana to provide enhanced payment services to the general public via our mobile app, Haptel, and website www.haptel.com. Haptel wishes to thank its customers, clients, and partners in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Cape Coast, and Takoradi, and nationwide for their patronage and support over the years, and looks forward to continuing to innovate in order to provide you with cutting-edge information technology solutions that make commercial transaction life easier. Signed, Management, Haptel Limited.
Abusuafo de kwasika ye no enie. Sakrate efri Haptel fo ho na de ba ntimu ncha no nso. Haptel Limited ena womu de sakrate epia bonten. Na ensem bi ebeto odwa no womu di nya no eba. Odate kama. Economic and Organized Crime Office edi etumekuo bi edi aba betu dwa. Ya womu tese eduma womu ye no. Anya kwan paso nti Yokofo ebo amansa nyina akokose woni sa adwumekuo no kodidwa ye wa asamua na MONTIE Haptel Limited anya Haptel ba ko no ameka ye no anya Haptel mobile money lending no a wo mu kan wasam no we aya Haptel Limited epese wo mu katre wo mu valued and cherished customers client any woman ni womu DJ nyina mansa nyina say Haptel Limited no one sa edumekuo ya ka na asemu a ye friend say Haptel mobile money lending no any taka bia omunim no wonim no ho maate enti Yokofo ahwechemu a womu aso womu ye no e kwan so ano no but Haptel Limited the register our registered general department yamani to me Bank of Ghana the onsum Ghana for our kwan pabi so womu use bi a friend say mobile app bi empo website no wade ne www no aba ha say ya watre said womu yi womu ade afa enti womu pese womu da customers yase client yadamose partners yahudu amu wankran asi Cape Coast Takoradi Ghana nyina se wenum nyina se etitaso nko a wode ata no a amedumekoi eturu bebi a eduru omba kwaso a asomosompa ewo abefo ekwa hudu nyina so management na declarate eba abont aye Haptel Limited.
I see. So mu person mo kire se nsunsuye dom ntem omni ni twaka bia
nti omu de ne
na me ehwi awati omdi adwuma mo me Haptel me nye yi a nka me etese anyama akoso okromo
but WhatsApp group bia me wo no na omu by say omu susu etie bia week bia betua 50 cedi and week bia betua ubetua 100 Ghana
and the minimum amount for yes ade ni bebre me kra me say ba be bi we ba me bompa ese kwabena ye gidi ne de mana se du nu so se obetua me no de ani du so aso obetua de a eno ne asem this is kwako hwan sa na baba betua de eno ye be esa be minimum amount for bebre yes ade ni bi se bia ye se ni abom na ye se bia se na watwi bia na obi betua me fan se bia be 200 Ghana enti ya gidi ne de ama e bia ekua ne de ama efia na bia bakwabena so na bia de ama me enu bi na oka
we de ne de omugigi a se omoye company omugigi a omudi beye adwuma enti within 1 week and after 1 month no ye be ma wo interest ebi ebe ma interest ebi a usika wa yagigi be 1 month le nya be 1000 Ghana ye be ma interest be 1.5
menye
ta no mo ye no enti fa dodo no a obenti me de ba me tua na menye yi a me de obi beba ti nipa de be nipa ni tua no interest ebi ba be kama de ho
menye enu bia na sa amanfo ye omo ye ya ne amanfo sika enu bia ni menye
menye no ye hub telefone na
sana mobile phone so de no sana tie sana mobile phone so de the app mobile phone the be dia WhatsApp group bi am no mo ba so be ye obi ba be kan ho
be cheche sa oh okay
okay sika na nso me di intimi fabins
ba me no de mo menye si se bia ya ye nim ye hu na bia ye se okay ye
ante bia
no boa
ye no bo
ende minim enkrofo bebra in fact me nyonko bi a wote Holland ade a o Ghana for bebiri a mo yes ade no o mo gigi in fact ono akura timi guarantee ntie bi o manfo no kura ntua no no etua ma nti se o make sure say omo a odi o mato so no because say me waka say bi a me mra me bi but me ana me mfa me ho enko journey but omo minim say manfo ye omo groups e bi o mutua 1000 e bi o mutua 5 like enti se e bi a edubre bi na se bi akwabena de esimu a ono a guarantee no etua enti o make sure say omo a odi omo to so no so mo aba enkrofo a wogidie wo mu se mu betua because enya ade a ye ba be gigi scan ye be ma na efie bedu so no na o wakwa akopem
minimum efie se obi di aka ma ye tua 200 sa scan cry I am one night.
Say wo mo ejiji mama fo edu
ya gigi ya di ma wo eji eti edu ni pa no so no si o fa de aya de eti ya na afide ye ya
da bia no ese unya sa de wo ye se unya obi obegina obedi egina mu o
I say
ntie bia me say na maka so kiwa say ye ya na me ka cho so kiwa say du su na say kuya du yesimu a na say bia kwabena na edu no so a metua because me wo sike bia me mesu metete
so wa ba be leader
yeah nti won fa so bia me so e ba me hono say nti eno no na say wo de ai say boy say wo de uti di akyerema no say du ho dia
so no so sa agi ne last o no ya na de uji first la no agi last na ekobochim
well nti but who say obekaya kama na men's go that dey share who say I think say Security and Exchange Commission the krata ba tudwa na omo si owe no mo adwuma mo ye ponzi ninia na omo so omo de krata ba na omo so ma ba chechem na omo say oh there bibia ye okay ebi na I say ekosu sisie yo say o here times eno ti na me twi ma dwe who say times for the story I mean Yoko I think it was and said the enrich crown of the statement in by
because even men's gold on so side Ghanaian times ya
so and then the story no Yoko the statement aba then have to for so aba there be o sa have tell money mobile ye ni mo be bia but ni omo so omo ye no say na tie because ohwa wo mo see you kind one of the prior say Haptel Limited is registered with the Registrar General's Department and had the approval of the Bank of Ghana to provide enhanced payment services to the general public via our mobile app, Haptel and website. So, what is this enhanced payment services?
Obi say e-payments say yeah na dem obi try dey no dey tia na say
yeah.
WhatsApp ha ya yi.
And some dey no say WhatsApp.
Yeah, ebi so to me bob besia. Free edumekuo bi ubisa omo nka ne yi. But obi to me bob besia free omo nten. Na otua na nkakra.
Because almost say WhatsApp. And omo dey here. And na nkofo dey so say ono so akoye say WhatsApp group ya na dey say enti dia na ma omo dey no different.
And no be di udi ye adwuma wo dey na ye genu na no so be di udi ye adwuma. Wonka ho asem.
Omo nti that's obi dey Haptel mobile money lending.
Omo ma church omo dey no ma ye hu because nya ye WhatsApp ye nti omo church ni hu tie difference dantem. I Ghana for your soul because before men's good mbeba no na US tilapia de baby nso aba Edi nkrofo esimu bia mamu
Ona say esimu de send here nya na say agoja ekia na bege esimu de say send here back in the days of Piram ne sa we yomu days no ni na esimu de say about for the say de omo esimu
ba to pontem de anya osika mo
me da say anope ekieje wakode ne kwabnamafo anope need 100.9 empenifo so ba betrase na ya dioma dwenche wo ye nsema hodo a atodwa ene na menkan comment ni bi was see we are not doing I'm sure you want to say we are not going to accept complaints from by say doing so we're not going to accept complaints from President Kufuor that Ghana is broke, there is no money, because nobody in his right sense will believe that if you spend $14 million per hour, $40 million then near better about $14,000. Musa Batwa, in Pacho, Shannon Sun Honum saying. This one here says, Kwasi, please, what is going on in Ukraine needs the prayers of all Ghanaians. Now, it is not a period for people to say this or that, but to pray for our children who are students and have been caught up in this crossfire. If a country close its borders, that is one here from Mr. Tay. What if he Gulf Estate and now Odi eno ebaye? Bosheba Amnesty was it Ghanaians should have faith and support President Kufuor and Dr. Bawumia. They will gradually transform Ghana. The tension and the catastrophic happening in Russia and Ukraine is unfortunate. I think NATO should deny Ukraine from being part of the organization. Africa, Edifi Kwadaso constituency. And what do you buy? Need 100.9.
Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie. Ghana Montie.
Bo Kasia Bo Kowakata Wansa Amaya Se Kasia Waye
Onye Yimu Nukretrodo Kamadine Kamadine Bo
Nitafe
Mama Yentie Kasia ABOAGYE 100.9
Kwesi Bonkwe
Yanko enim na menka se enne eyo awoda you're 5 years old today. Nana ama nyameche afeni. Yes, Nana ama nyameche afeni. Happy birthday to you. Me sure say by now Harare, Zimbabwe. Wanna say Oshe ode ebusia. Na studio no hanum say no Samuel Ayikwe, communication team member for the LPG, Raj John Afo, a communication team member for the NDC, and Kwesi Boche, communication team member for the MPP Painful, and Yenio Mubabe di Jumai wa hanum say na Samuel Atana say that I mean brand so sorry azan
Eja
Yabo Kodie
Yakopa Adom no mpa
LPG for so
Adom obi a ho ye
Ekoye
Ekoye pa
see so yanshan come on say brand ko na yanhwe Ukraine ye koso ewo Ukraine emfa no ncha say mintio
But say Prof mechia una mechia wetiefo nyina
if juice
mehwɛ dia ekoso Ukraine na me fi say sia de petrol ni de yenye ready say ye beto no 150 that say NCM mpo no
150 anonya dey
I say be do there Prof
because I'm just reading this one here but see fuel prices may cross 8 Ghana cedis soon. If Russia Ukraine tensions stay high, COPEC and almost can say chamber of petroleum consumers COPEC
reason tell because I say you name time as I can see a 2 betwa a 2 try so as right na beko the ebia eko 8 cedi no na be stay high to say war na beko na wie ye dey fine but definitely be moving tie mon pa say Yankopon kasa sintem na mpenifo especially America be ye ya omon form na nsi form na yenji oman no na at least amanfo nkwa Ghanaians ewo ho Ghanaians egu ho no mo edoso pa matese so mo frɛ student especially student ewo ho frɛ say ye me form mra na ye levi so ye pass ye ebe dey say betumi akɔ even crap no ye hwɛ mu a say flight nko Enti ekwan ben so ne e fa so akọ yakọ se no mu na wiem na rocket yi ba akọ ka omo a ne e koka ne se enti e be bon pa se Nyankopon bo mo ho ban na akoma mra form na yentumi enye United World yenka ye hombom ne yenko yenim akra betimi aka afa ho
meda se kosi atena se mamenje ono so na dwenkyerɛ ɛwɔ ye Ukraine ne ekosui Russia for ne omakọ akoye ona mo ye Ukraine kosi akwaba
offer major.
Okay, so you share Ukraine ne ekosui ne ye de shase minti wa dwenkyerɛ I'm sure say we follow etie bia kama Ministry of Foreign Affairs Regional Integration the statement about omo che say Ghana ye school for teacher no omo shelter bi na omo mpe bebi nko mu nsie ene ne ka ho ebi nso say da bi ni aban ka kire student fo de enye ne kwan so ano ni petrol ebi kure susu say no so be cost so far ni Ukraine ensensemi e de be mintio
fa no pe de me fa akwenye now far in some course with Ukraine no the mechanics say very unfortunate, very unfortunate because the course with Ukraine on it would have an adverse impact on economic situations in the world. Russia is the third largest producer of fuel nation globally. I think they produce 80 billion tons a day of fuel. You know, it would have an adverse impact on the world economy in general. You know, what we can do is say we can all pray for calm, and then I know say world leaders, we are beyond Ghana. So I know world leaders are putting in measures. They have introduced some sanctions on Russia. Russia, reduce it, and now stop it. So we are just hoping and praying, say things will get better gradually. And on the evacuation of students, things that just 2 days ago, New York Times came up make a publication. We said they are not in that the US is not the capacity to evacuate their citizens or students in Ukraine because social issue we now that very sensitive. That Ukrainian-Russian crisis is very sensitive to the world. Our world now handle the year a bit more plunging the world into the Third World War. You know, say clearly, the world is being very diplomatic. With the evacuation, I know that when it comes to international relations and diplomacy, there are a few regulations and a few diplomatic guidelines that what say you follow. And Brianna, assembly see Brianna, Russia started so more your moon semi. Even if Ghana government ever evacuating students, I'm sure say they would need to put in some guidelines because it was an unexpected attack. I believe it is too early and it is premature to suggest say Ghana government should evacuate students or something. So all what we are hoping for is for calm tensions to go down. The students over there, if they are listening to us, they should take very good care of themselves. Send a statement in the chair and say they should feel unsafe at home. Public places for shelter because in events like this, usually public spaces are spared. Public spaces here, you are rest assured say probably will be spared. Until we are all calling for calm. Now, yeah, sure say they need Russia, Ukraine fund. They all need our prayers because when we speak, we cannot advise those world leaders. All what we can do is to pray for them. Pray for those there. So we are with them in prayers, and we are just hoping that everything gets well in sooner than later.
Besi Bochi of the MPP, Mamima John Afo of the NDC Akwabana, Yeni Russia, Menji Onuso Ajinche. And just to MONTIE, just to let you know, sir, Russia for Mkoshe and Tokoya see. One more Sika ma pali egu honum si foreign reserves in down $630 billion. Enti eso omo ka se omu ni obi akura ni dwakura in the next years ebe kura no a la womo sika ntimi mfa ne se me de ba fam no wetumi atiase yi pa ayesi obi uni obi kwa kwako ntokwa na woni pa akuna bi a ukura na woma na aduane di na wapa aduane egu honum a aduane obetumi di ne be se mfie be se du se ntokwa no ne ku yi a mfie bebere kura no ti se bi mfie be du ansa na ho be sha ase a kire nti woma hyeda pesike gu a se womu ni ha ntokwa womu yeso womu ku a Omo be kwa mo na mo ble. John, Mintie.
Yo, ofa edika minchia petiefu. Minchia His Excellency Mahama. Dr. Ado Wo on wa ma NDC fu nyame ya adum na se ma ono so pede the party no His Excellency John Mahama ono so declare the intention. So far those are the two people who have declared their intention. I mean chia me constituency we jagbawe constituency se na mo amunim no nyame ya adum a se kwanya banso amenso me ko contest as constituency chairman. Sense aso akwenya say the vice executive they will reward me for being loyal to them. I mean chia omo, but they are very very important. I mean chia party in Pennsylvania. One thing I always say party no wa wunya akwenya bia som bia wunya appointment bia no, this is the time reorganization of the branches no. This is the time which me adopt to a constituency. We don't want to me adopt a ward. You will support the ward in anything that they do to ensure say this reorganization leading us to branch elections, you know, which me support to. If you come on your influence of being there at the constituency and at the ward there at your branch, you know, will ensure say if be able to super 2024 no. Na me ya adonu nya tin kwema. Inshallah se na man ya kwedi one say Ghana for say John Mahama one dey to me be share won sa. Eti man ya nyama yie na ye mboa party no bibia betumi dey aboa party no bia no. Be stress betumi dey aboa. Mewie no so no ofa Ukraine and Russia queen. One thing I mean no I have say onu say your students here your call for more we and I'm Rose and then I meet TV3. I'm interview one of the students, you know. Don't know, so I'm say more course, doctor. Yes, I'm saying someone to me, and I'm saying another footballer, so say Yakubu Bibisa, and also Obobo. Almost be a moteno. One a bomb, no. They say bomb on the Bahama. They said you can't even go anywhere. Emma, they say pass crane, nothing is working, and you don't have any option. In Dinami, as we say, hey. Any idea we can me find some bush and I said, I'm war. Then have it's not just say empire bo and a bebo. Ama money or both countries. Over we are no so few economic side. Then I'm okay. I'm okay say see I'm showing you na say to cost na cost wa it will affect our economy. Your best friend. The ye be bon paye because bibie mu no eye adwenkyere onu say oman bia ne Russia for kasa me no kasa and they kura FIFA for I withdraw Russia from I think say sports will be a course or they've withdrawn those tournaments UEFA for so
is UEFA
no FIFA so I heard FIFA president also.
No, I'm saying the UEFA finals no
yeah Russia
one of the cities in St. Petersburg.
Yes they've withdraw we. You know, every country is speaking against Russia. But then Russia for so going to call Ukraine. And perhaps let me tell program say other countries want to go and station at Ukraine.
It dates back in the 60s. Nanka Russia for person base be Cuba how do we say? And America for the way. Okay, well now they are here Florida. We are here America, they be amping.
And then Russia, you have we just want to call Ukraine.
Says Siciano after the Cold War, no. Now the Soviet Union collapse. No, after Soviet Union collapse. All these countries, like Ukraine, and these countries want to be part of NATO
and Russia
alliance, no. And I said no to America for any Europe for any no be bibia. And Russia for any American woman.
Okay, Syria and US queen time na the former president Donald Trump. Also sir and Russia for say hey chinchian in the MONTIE.
Yeah.
Those powerful nations they are kai Africa. They side ways here. Yeah na ho chiri yo. What I say because e bi na yame ache gold. Yame ache timber. How much a boss site as still yes, ever come on Yakasra. Oh, 18 about the side, we have to learn to be independent. Yeah. And I says Russia or about 630 billion.
Yeah.
Then reserve in Ghana for age at war.
Yeah.
I can't remember. 2019, 2018. And for Kenofrata say we have a reserve. BBC or my woman. We can use those reserves. And then look at what is the stand of our competent. We thought so we have the men. What are the stand for Ghana now? Reserve Benewo. The CNS, I will be a Casana for a coso, be 2 for Kroma. You're 2 year Kroma. This shows us a lesson, say, as African countries or Ghana, as me or Ghana. No. This shows us a lesson, say, I did be a 2 or Ghana Habian. You're making sure, say, you bet to me, I be wa. Then they be a Dutch because, what's less, who ye? Oh, what quite a check who's so backwards over summer, then no, to no pum. What I say, it is hard and my because that way to affect our economy. Seriously. But he said, deputy majority, like I say, they are passing levy. And a Ghana for this kind of and call for war Ukraine. It's very sad. A very, very sad story. There, a Cromwell say, Nisika, I bet to me and call for any money on war way. You bet to me no more if you are quite from Ukraine, quite be a call the next country. You need to get to the side unless we pass 11. Et you pass 11. Let's say you be Ghana for more some question about my eh? You full we no footballers or more ball. It is a Ghana so you ko enu amanane. You pass 11. Is that what the Afonya market is telling Ghanaians? I think say in some be one of the cancer na. This is not the time for us to be saying this kind of things. What you say? More your majority group in parliament. If you want to pass the e-levy, you can pass the e-levy. But we the minority and majority of Ghanaians are saying, say, in this kind of condition, home says no. The e-levy bar, who be come more. Oh, you are showing you Kwanana, the cost of Ukraine. Who you to na di film come on Ukraine for more. And Ghana for the conquer nebe wu my way. Because a young man who cost you my woman. Ofa, and easy. And easy, sir. That is your best. UN for. Omun kosu no mon kasa. Na akwan bi on be fa so a, on be make sure say Russia for better ase. Na omo jai sa akun we omo di aba end na wiase afo ne nyai ho beto no. Ye make sure say be dey. Ye bomb pa so ye bomb pa e nka ye nwanom mo Ghana for especially in Africa for so. Russia is only Ghanaians who are in Ukraine. Na some more Russia. A lot of African citizens are there. Nti ye bomb pa ne ye bomb pa mo say obi ahonka. Na enumanyum ya ntokwa ebe den ebesi. Okay. So you have as we control to say we have the men, we are competent, we have the men. No? This is the time Ghanaians want to see. Say the men you've been claiming that you have them. No? This is the time Ghanaians want to see.
And I say John, me bani ababe share Sarah Joasafo nkomo share daily guide enim the honum saying Joasafo's fate in limbo. And now so Speaker of Parliament ekasa fire Joasafo asemi hum. Ebe boy ni no na ya jika krefie mpenifo honum saying anope ewo dwumedie so honorable akujeta ablakapa land and sea movement are seized and you're still talking about evacuation. Do you want the ministry to vanish them to thin air? That is pitri brim from Abroanko and Odiano Edebai. The president is doing his possible best to evacuate Ghanaian citizens who are in Ukraine and Russia. God protect them and keep them safe. That's Mama G. Odi free Kaswa and Odi and Obaye. Thanks to the visionary President Nana Akufo-Addo and the NPP government for such a remarkable performance in every district of the country. This shows our vote has been seen a major reality in Shaba and Elka with that one. The Nanado Dr. Bamia-led government is the most laziest, insensitive, and incompetent government. This NPP government jokes too much. Mystic Wonder and so on are do agree. I know the fee and the buy. When the Israelis were bombing Iranians in Syria, Iran is far away. So will not accept an Iranian military base close to Syria. This same U.S. and the NATO alliances claim Israelis were doing in self-defense. But in the case of Ukraine, this same hypocritical U.S. and their allies say Russia is an aggressor. Until these double standards from the U.S. and their allies are stopped, the world will continue to grow in danger. That is one here from Alai Baba, body free, Madina no debai. Need 100 points now. Ghana Muntie Jumedi, you know, year 12, year Queen man, pay studio man saying John Affle of the NDC, Samuel Ikwe of the LPG, Wesibo Tree of the MPP, and pay and one more atranse boame etra dream war yen sema hodo. Ye call ASR Jasa for a yen sem so. Before I Kwesi, Mesha see fuse, you know, Yentie, Speaker of Parliament, Ra.
But before we do that, it's important I diffuse some fake news, which is being circulated, that I granted an interview to say that Honorable Adwa Safo received permission from me to absent herself from Parliament on health grounds. I want it to be known by all that I have not granted any such interview anywhere. I have not said anything like that anywhere. And the votes and proceedings of the House are so loud that she is absent without permission for all those days. That is on the votes and proceedings of the House. It's not the Speaker who determines who is present and who is absent. No. The votes and proceedings will capture those are present, those are absent, and those who are absent with permission. And so please, I received a lot of calls from a number of media men on that issue. And that's why I don't want to delay in letting the world know that I have not said any such thing anywhere. Please. And tomorrow I'm going to address the issue of absentee MPs very, very clearly for everybody to understand.
Right, so Speaker of Parliament, Ra Aban Bagbing, now notice what Kasa say no. Now, Daily Guide, and so can BB about Adwa Safo's fate in limbo. Just a him fapa na sisi an shebre eshe. Near Kosu Nina so far. Kwesi, meet you.
For Kwesi me that's it. For answer na me question no. Mr. Ebenezer Asante, Otis Music. I think just we be to na obi was Ongolin.
Yeah, that's it.
I would say Adwa Safo. I think said their speaker yeah there. Their story there, the toast were very important. It will be diffused propaganda near woman. Their speaker cannot say he hasn't said anywhere. Say a granted Adwa Safo. Now on granted permission. The bottom line is he hasn't even share article 97 1 subsection. Yeah. I think it clearly talks about members of parliament being absent and the sanctions more. I feel say because Ghana is a country governed by laws, we have a constitution which is our mother law. We should clearly abide by the provisions of the constitution. But the law clearly tells us that MPBA absent will be heard before the privileges committee. No reasonable hearing. In case of a reasonable explanation, only reasonable explanation, and whatever be the case, no. They call plenary. Plenary never decided the fate of the member of parliament. As at now, Adwa Safo has not been invited to the privileges committee for being absent for a couple of days. I think the 15 days threshold. You know, until there is such a call, no, I think that is where we'll be able to go into this. Because as we sit here now, as to whether or not Adwa Safo has permission on her absent or has no permission, I think is a question of factor. Was it you take it from parliamentary records, like the speaker clearly said. But he doesn't keep those records. He's the one not in charge. And you're not granted permission. The law only tells us that a member of parliament should write to the speaker, notifying the speaker, say, so and so I'll be out of town, and I'll be incapacitated. But I said no keep. And so if we want the record, we should go to the appropriate quarters. And so as to whether or not say the question say Adwa Safo has been absent with permission or without permission, I think it's a question of factor. We would have to find out. However, no, I have made my checks.
Mm-hmm.
I have made my checks. I stand to be corrected, but per my check so far, no, it seeks to reveal say Adwoa has permission. She wrote to the speaker before Oko baby Obekono. The Adwoa was written to the speaker, and so I think the provisions of the law is very clear on the Adwoa issue, and it is very important. I state Adwoa issue, one of the sensitive matters, a very very sensitive. It is just a question of say law should take its course. We should allow the law to take its course, and let's see how it goes. So we should just allow the law to take its course.
Basically, me that say, John, my member also na mint you.
Some way there, say, that's way because the thing is that just after you can, I don't know, adjust offer. Adwoa is not the only person. Say now no boku jota kan or absentee. What I say? There are a lot of MPs who don't come to parliament. Oh, you have 137. If even Adwoa doesn't, we have 137. Put their mombra. The last time, I think last week or so, Honorable Roxanne, how die MP. A question say the ye levy any table they are going to discuss. Oh, they've not even tabled that proposal for Parliament even to discuss about it. It was a serious debate. Oh, you still say you are still consulting. It's only Adwoa for Beba. To me, I pass you levy. You have your MPs are there. Oh, there was a time Honorable Japan too Okasa no yare. They have to even go. They have to even take a flight to come. And on you quite a lot of them. Greater Accra Regional Minister. Oh, now moko ayaresa. Eko show mumpo mu ni ade. O ti ase a na that day no they delayed that day no more rejected no man we no. They have to wait. Speaker have to ask them where is the levy? The Kenya be 7 o'clock. And son of Mankasa the day no. One of their MPs backbencher or catch them said they should walk out from Parliament, walk out from their own proposal. Government policy they have to walk out until say Tuesday when Speaker of Parliament has ruled on the matter. Then you saw the first deputy speaker coming to overturn that ruling. It's like the same like COVID-19. One speaker have said something, then the first deputy speaker have to come and overturn that decision. Over so Ghana for ya bro. Any sir Adwoa no. You told us that you are going to provide for us. We should vote for you. We should vote for you and you have the competent people to man the administration of this country. And I can't afford to 2 million, sir. If you cry levy, what is the stand of His Excellency the Vice President, who is the chairman of the economic management team? He told Ghanaians say levy is not a good policy. Because in for how can you go and send 5 Ghana cedis and they will have to pay 1.75? In there, Vice President of the Republic, who is the chairman of the economic management team, has been mute on this matter. But then we complete to make us. Oh, it is a time and you say, also the Messiah of economics. I think we can afford will stand on this matter. He has been silent on this issue. And Adwoa Safo, the former minister for information under a first term of President Kufuor, also there was a time that she was also coming to Parliament.
Okay.
Yes. I say no buy. So who can absentee in parliament? And a lot of MPP MPs were not even coming. Sorry. Wafa. One says I'm no kasi. Allegedly, now I was listening to TV3 News. Their rep in parliament was saying, there's one minister who is incapacitated now. Even if Ajwasafo comes out, actually, what I will even urge my brother on the other side and say, this is the time I will have to see your skills on how you can even go to the other side and talk to them. And your stand at 1.75 and reduce it. Ghanaians are saying, we are not saying we will not pay taxes. So, as you are saying now, we are even paying taxes. If you go and renew your license, you are paying 50%. Oh, everything, we are putting 50% on it. I think Ghanaians are already paying taxes. Me no can say, Bank of Ghana, COVID-19, and a COVID-19 by my bubu or my to be one, and I'm my watching. Kesika Pudru Amajije, IMF, World Bank, Bank of Ghana, even Government of Ghana, at their map, a Ben Yankasa, to support COVID-19. As well, still more Kasana, more COVID-19, coronavirus, Namaya, economy, I say, and the coronavirus, Namaya won't toy. Coronavirus, Crasso, a vast said, do one eye at a day, the chairman. Do one from Sikanto. The boy catch them in some of the Musicantoy. The bread from Musicanto, a PP in Yama from Musicantoy, the chairman. A bread chair is a Chinese philanthropist here, or bet a lot of PP is in a day. What from Musicanto? Oh, actually, Mamun Janis, a woman who crying here, Mamun Janis Frankasha coronavirus. Ghanaians are saying, say, do one magic be brebeno. Jem pa na modi aye. Oh, ni ama obusa se faka didwa. Who said them of a didwa no? Unya bibia fan buy and for profit in buy. Who say work this Kenyans am o sika from kan. E be den what you am a scanner sash on sabi. And on says how you love you so am oye. That will focus him from anu si am di manu BBC. O ma me sign. The American say, "Eh, enya is a sao." Eh? Modi edebia ye kana mo oh na you choke our banker who go you know and that's how there are a lot of people who does business on electronic transactions. You know no talk koko ni ade. One me say na on my just about this week or last week. Where bullet of my year. Four armed robbers on Timoto Swa. They were shooting to Nyamia Duma. A bulletproof. And can you see what I do? It can the same to happen in this country.
Me da say.
Oh, at your best say. You do Yamashamusa, more shame for Yaman to 2 years.
Me da say.
Now, just Safono is his own only person.
Okay. And
a dear Namoya as a party. As a party, MPP as a party, dear Namoya. The person is your candidate. He's your a member of parliament representing your party in parliament. The leadership of MPP. What are they doing? General Secretary, Chairman,
John,
and the President himself. What are they doing to convince Ajwasafo to come to Parliament so they can pass their e-levy?
What are they doing? So, MONTIE Samuel, so Ajwasafo ni nsemo ekosi so far ni ati nini abeka.
Samuel say Ghana nkomo bi eni ho ebebo as politicians ayefa e-levy betwem. Ajwasafo ho asem ni eka. E dey akofa e-levy ebechiya afi ni ebeka Ajwasafo de. But simple and short of it, they say, media, the position, you know, by this time, Maji and Kebemede as minister, no, because yen to me, and Kasesike ni o mining, na yen taxes are yet ya pa obi so on share department gender na for a whole 6 months, 7 months, 5 months on reporting who office. And so Ojina Kitia pepepe, Obejin coupons pepepe, Obeji Bibia was Oji pepepe. I mean, we should be serious as a nation. At least we should know Senor or no kind of way to me Jumano. What to me I say, at least time and home betono. Na the whole Tony we fee say the baby or baby a bit to me the man is on cautious near the man or cautious. But I see I know we are a serious nation. We want to move forward. If I say moving from baby a work or different place, near my Juma said Jina ye. That's our own reporting who we do. I mean, it's enye bibia wo say ye fo aso ye see lawmakers ye ne ko make law na say make law no na ya ba be breaking na obi o wa bonti breaking na ne betumi a complain ana because when him say we labor law honum say e wo say ye de bibia bi hye wo nsa e wo say wutumi eye na wo yi akoma mu nyina afa ye na say waje adwuma na say wonya na wutifia. I mean, I don't know why still you're keeping your office. Why with the position as MP in the mini parliament? Or more and or masha or mumra and or more rules or regulations. At least by now, said I may brakai, your friend out to Tunanua, and you be who's okay. Say ni I meant to me, and by in every sense, you know, I feel so also be apologize. Say, when to me, say, be crying a one fat the right channel, so at least you will be out himself better. No, my jatum so, ebia say, na yo. So when to menya sa nyama ni nyina dia we bu a whole parliament board we bu omonim tia wan fa bu amom enti wa wo hye mra na se wo bu mra so a me a wo hye mra ma no me bu so na wo bechi me ana se wo ba betwuma so tinu ye ma omo hye mra no enhya se nya edwuma efiri omo so ansa ewra abonten na ye fro bi honorable a o se won say you are highly honored enu tinu dwen nyama bi a wo se wo ye oh ade a me ye. Is it to the benefit of the nation and now to the benefit of my party? And I say, me my party as well, and I make sure mine as well. If you have any difference with the party, penifona, find ways to miss and deal with them. It shouldn't be affecting the country. A Juma Dama constituency for I was seka, utumiko grounds by this time. Share omuhi assembly in Yamana, omukra, omuso muhu constituency nim. Ebanisana, then automatically no Ghana politics no, a move it to a different world. What I say we there were individual body being a handle MPs ni ministers this ankrofo by this time you sure said the right thing has been done by politics. And yes, yeah, pampana me I'm not surprised if yeah pampa honorable Ajasafo, because one on making higher decision in the elections for reading the way history and also in the background of elections are my so far domiko abenya ni nyina o chomo percentage ni so eso eno ti otwe more votes to Edema party because the MP to minya vote times 2 na say definitely we to minya more than vote ama presidential so the same place. Nti media ne say no matter how it is decision will make a party contribution or yet rule is rule, law is law. Say ne family requires your friend penny for friend no afa so no say allegation of say amount 100,000 say then 100,000 Ghana cedi 120. You say your birthday gift. You say, I mean, as a nation, where are we driving to? As a nation, you drive your car. There was say, I no, it was so beer. What best say and some vote. Up high and chose so. Mumma me kwanya na me kodi mani mo mrahye bedwam. E was say, yes, I this ikakoma no, epa ne chew. Aswaba be ono anadwuma. Aswaba be ono anadwuma. You see, like, I don't think say, see, I know. Ma communication ya diama MPP communicators because moya sade we no mokwa defending na yedin nipa ne try defend has am luki we were oman for them so now I dey we so about obeka idea. How can you defend this kind of things? You can't. It's not right. I was say an allegation say make here we abeka different thing about the money we so aka different thing about the money. This is where special prosecutor ejuma wunya mo famre me na menye hwehwe me frɛ. Because na say idea ti say MC akwakwa esi e pa no say MC na agina we de enye enfri ono anu na ba ya ne de ebetumi allegation it may even the honorable Kennedy Paul betumi abesa na no so me come and push ni mana ba ye na adwuma un say me kan na push ni mana kasa like they can easily frame something to cover it up but yes re on minor direction e dey call as in painful leaders yamanfo ko gina wi aso ato aba mayen tenko ye adwuma no it is not fair at all. Enti adwuma no nim say ontumi nya no antronko ni enje won nsem but with MPship ne de eno de beja ma parliament they know their rules and regulations. If they feel say they are not breaching their rules because what they are doing today another person will also look at it and do it tomorrow. Enti say rule no say was say wa ma parliament for this number of days asotwe bi o say de ma wa ye fa ma no ye fa ma na ye nka hunu so ochina obi so betumi agina no so parliament o de aye bi na wa ye reference cause Ghana de ye peripheral and I won't say what they do so we dey won't say one cash and I won't mremu na we say de bia ye refer obi a waba wentumi anya edwuma ya ma na kotena ase na edwuma o ye ya nso eni a ya ka na si ekire na ye refer na so ye the same thing ɛmmoa
Medase Samuel. Na my main kind comments nibi na memra. Speaker of Parliament and now the assembly to ja about yanhwe year se teach you Parliament na people se leadership and your muneme year and hwe year bosume be miensan bi edi enim kra no aban timi ntua eye salaries ni ne ka ho ye ba be di ho komo mebo ene no na mede majimpen fon so agin to this one that says Kwesi, good morning to you and good morning to Dr. Bawumia. He's a big asset to Ghana. So the MPP should keep that in mind. They should help us, those who work day in and day out when the party was in opposition. Baba and Odiwe Edibaye. What's going on between Russia and Ukraine is very, very sad. It's a painful thing to actually hear. That is one here coming from Ankuma Foster. Achim Ayerebi and Odifi and Odabai. Well-meaning Ghanaians have now seen that the NDC and the minority don't want the development and progress of the country at heart. Master Red, Kaswa, and Odia Nufi. I am in support of the well-meaning Ghanaians who have urged the government to expedite actions in bringing citizens back home from Ukraine and Russia. I get angry in the face of seeking the backless dogs called nukes. Ghanaian lecturers have been on strike for more than a month and you have not said anything. Alex Kofi Yarani, Adenta Commandos. Leviticus Power says, why did the speaker not direct his concern to the minority NDC MPs championing the Yentia E-Levy? Government is focused in dealing with all challenges. Leviticus Powers. What is happening in Ukraine is not good. United Nations, what are you doing about it? That is Amweni Fita, Asaman Kasi, and Odifi and Odebaye. Need 100.9 Ghana Muntie so yeko na yakwa kotie Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Urban Bagbin, and Shema Wadetu Ja and Ra about say anhwe ya aban timi ntie adwuma foka na before ebekọ no so no we de ba ko aputuprum kase bi aba na ye kan Ukraine Russia semi nkomo yi ye kan se o football hun sensem bi kura se koso ewo ye Russia UEFA Club Champions League final no afie no mo de ahye se ye bosumi May ne de to so eduonu woche nke be koso wo ye St Petersburg ewo ye Russia omo enkro no mu baako na nearby Sisiano say Champions League final moved from Russia to Paris. The 2022 Champions League final will be played in Paris after Russia was stripped of the match following the nation's invasion of Ukraine. The final of Europe's most prestigious club competition was due to be played in St. Petersburg on 28th May. Following a meeting on Friday, that's today, UEFA confirmed the match would not be held at the Gazprom Arena. Instead, the European football governing body has decided it will be held at the Stade de France in Paris. Enti say UEFA efoka oma take a decision this year no UEFA Club Champions League in finals no kombe ball Gazprom Arena was in St. Petersburg Russia. But this year because of near Kosovo, near Russia for a Oma to Akose Ukraine for so no. You have force to take any chances bia and you may match if you're one more Eddie call Paris or France. To May 28th is going to be at Stade de France. What I'm saying and Ebekoso. Mamin Sha CMF John. So but before John Beben John, Yentie and Sebwa Speaker of Parliament at the Tuja.
But before we do that, it's important I diffuse some fake news, which is being circulated.
Oh, sorry. I think I was playing the wrong insert. So,
on his rendition, just to add, Mr. Speaker, on last week, Friday, the chair gave a directive that the leadership, together with the Minister of Finance and the Administrator of Common Fund, should reconcile on the DA's local government committee to reconcile the figures on the District Assembly Common Fund. and report back to the House on Tuesday, next week Tuesday. But today is Thursday. So if the deputy leader, once we are adjourning, to take it, and tomorrow is our last working day, we must be able to convey that meeting and be able to generate a report so that Tuesday we'll brief the chair that this is how far we've gone with it. I'm being hinted by the ranking member on local government that even the reporting day should have been Tuesday, the past Tuesday. So it's like we've not been able to do the assignment that was given to us. But still, if the Speaker, the leader, deputy leader will liaise with the ministers so that we can do that meeting and report back to House. So that every day the tension on release, non-release, variation of the figures of the District Assembly Common Fund will be brought to finality. So that is what I want to add. We are still in your hands, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Deputy Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the sentiment having been regularly communicated, same shall be conveyed. I thank you.
Honorable members, the information at my disposal, this is not to discourage the committee from doing their work. If something is not done within the next 3 months, government may not even be able to pay salaries. So we have to take leadership. We have to do a lot of things. With this, the House is accordingly adjourned.
Ghana Muntie, na mansanya so adawroko fiaman homene so ejiji tonton sansan ewo NEET 100.9 FM.
So, and some Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Aban Babing, editor Ja and Rap. Ewa mrase be jenimo say nsɛm a wɔn nim nya ba bɛka ne sa kyerɛ sɛ mpanifo ankeka wɔn ho paa de a osume bɛɛ miɛnsa bi edi anim no anhwe a na aban ntumi ntua ɛyɛ adwumayɛfoɔ ka John
wo fa send the hɔ clear nsɛm a mpanifo keka kan me no de yɛ hu asɛm ekodu speakers ɛna sɛ wa onim nso no is the Speaker of Parliament. That is where they approve loans. The budget in Parliament. And he is the Speaker of Parliament. And if I may add this, he's a number 3. What I thought I said. The all can say we need to be very serious. No. When my man can trust I'm from but now we do soon find your politics. Now NDC, Bekasi, MPP, Bekasi. MPP for Nankasa na moye omubu o maide o maya show mo say. Do mo kan say ya mpase yi levia omutumi nya hwe o ma we mu. Omo si sika nyina asa. Eni da so bi ani ho. Na sa wo hwe maya ye ni sika nyina asa. Na the Speaker kan hwe bosom miensa de enimi akotua kwantum fentue. O man ayin na ye ekọ. Wo hwe ye oil wo man we mu. Wo hwe taxes bebrebe ejeje. Bibia ye de to ato so. Every kwapo ye de to ama ball akra ejeje credit to ato so. COVID-19 kra so to ho Ghana for ye tua. Ni ye ka kire say ye tighten the belt. Belt yi a tighten mu sa am kodu pempensu bi a. Ekwa kesi ma yenya bi kra san fa we no kra san hye. Na wo hwe akwan a omo ka kire say pempensu ye du no ya nhwe yi a akotwa ntu mfantua ye pekes. Ama bi kra san ba wa ne aban no edi nkata ho we say contract road contractors omo other sectors will not even have money to pay. Now share a kwan here fast wa yen de they say a Ghana for no fa belt mbom ye de bue belt no ama e de ni je nko an ye je. Now share V8 amafo team o share your president on there so sro no do be dware na jaye for 95 esi wo na e don there see on there be so rent rent ye ko Togo kra be rent plane dia ko every don't say no ye de can tighten your belt and pursue be ko do no you have to be very 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 serious in this country nyame akyɛ ya ejapadeɛ papa ɛnyɛ yi levy kra ne say this at this time no ye betwen yi levy yi levy krampo so no te kosi kra sa tua yen ye sika ye ko sene 50 Ghana ko sene 1000 Ghana ko sene 200 Ghana ye 10 series ni ye 1 series ni ye tuatu nyina no omo wo to bi omo sa de tua ma aban enyo ono kwa eto bebre wa aban agye nti aban say eni sika enya yi levy ni dey you start for their starting juma enya yi levy ni dey tua contractors for ka enya yi levy ni dey si 111 hospitals are the promises e be shama Ghana for enya yi levy dey say enya yi levy dey say sika 6.9 billion that's ka we mu an ye yi dey say ye yi dey atua we ye yi dey akotua we ye yi dey aye kwan ye yi dey aye we na sika na he na ebeka meanwhile no ohwa busia bo ayagye bond kra nka ho ye esla ne ye we ade akaji nkwa no nka ho krampo no sika pudu ayagye over 220 something billion ani yakwa akaji. Beside that coronavirus ba yen so wofa sika IMF ni World Bank any Bank of Ghana any government of Ghana krasa dia ma ban enya de kotoa ni nyina mu no ahin na faaye me bi sabe nu say oh ebi krampo and committee ma chere say oh edibi a hospital edibi akwan edibi esi a school dan eti uko opeso so a we jagbawe ube hu say President Mahama ni hospital no OCF outjije 10% efi apowe tip compound outjije 10% fi ya we jesi teteguya me no ka say oye fi abem na 6 years ago na about 80% complete ebi na edi akwa complete hospital yes we ofa na ka menu e be ka kire say oh Akawe hospital ambulance amototo ye renovation mo ye ya mo expand the hospital ni mu a na first no na kan de wo kwa aka so uye mu hwie o ana say ntobru abo ho no nyama pedam kam aka we tumi sa pasisia no ye be fi abamu e ya enye ono nko emergencies ye de ko ho en ka mi bra ka say ye ba ye tumi si abo e bia 100 hospital beds ayetuma furniture yetuma expand yetuma be we aka ho na ka abinwe ba be ka o ebia weja gbawe ye ba ye President Mahama school si wo cluster of schools gbawe aye fi abemu ka obeka se o ye ba kwampo ye ba be si ebia this unique classroom ye ba be si bi wo ho am ya expand ni name no menwe entumi kan de omudi aye ebia President Mahama akwan oye from Malam Junction 2015-2016 from Malam Junction as Kota Guswa de fa Malam de kafa CP ekafa agbawe de kafa tetegu eko brogo ni ade nyina street light sisi was a pandi krato for man adwebe 12 am wo say pandi da ho na ka ban ba was yo me want deputy minister for health na me sign agi busia bebebe ni ade nyina no nka me buy me smetumi ayi akwan we dia fa fam ni ade on dia buy nya hwe dia kwan ye from top base dey fa malama no ono nso di bebe ode aso begu so be ko gonse Israel ho side na Israel ho gonse ho DP top one ade na nka wakwa kwan a aya nka ye say ye constructing all the roads fofo fi ate fi to we will control from where the citizens are suffering who are paying taxes on here. Okay, Abaka say, oh, and me one do so one factory. Okay, West sir. Because see factory me ani na nya no correct.
John see for me.
Obi factory we see no akoso na se. Then ye so ye wa be ma ye so tambi komu ye so pharmaceutical companies. They say this company of a kaim kakra ye was secretary
Yeah, no circle.
The pharmaceutical company say be was circle very common cry. Some people ne my also to house of folky.
And that's an. Okay, then pharmacy.
Oh, big pharmacy. Oh, come here.
Yeah,
about very common in my head. I'll remember. Oh, a lot of. Oh, what are you talking about? We supported a lot of pharmaceutical companies.
We mama na mama.
What I say, I'm buy a modi amukwa na moko so. Obi amukwa moko mu want to one factory somebody kesi hwa. Monsieur, I mean myself for consider diabolic no yo. I dey pass on kind. What I say? O do ko so ase o say o maka want to one factory. What I say? Amande uko maya oye LDE e Pentecost. And I say the TV stations are organizing the asa was we.
And patriocy from now we.
Who share the way we beautiful Mr. Company ma wa fanko for. Anko for nye juma ya share despite company. And that is Excellency John One Mama ye any ye bie man there ye timi ba ni tefe tumbe kasa. Ah despite bie ni company simu athlete ma. Otumi ye special water ni ade.
John.
Aban busia kwa wa bo nyina.
John.
Ofa. Me
that's John.
Oh, and you best say, dear speaker, air canon. Man, friend, dear grocra.
Okay.
What I say, my friend, dear go, young share. And friend, you come to say, you live in Kwan as ye dear about the savior of this country. I ain't you cramp when you say you were, that's you are, Diamond will hire you too. Ofa, Midima Sambe, and I ain't cram say, you were timbers will come. Ofa, I ain't you cram say. Site,
John, I'm afraid I have to take you off.
Baron Ebemuno. Me the master mission. Yan hwɛ ne yie. Crisis a yɛwɔ mu sisi ano. Very serious. And hwɛ ne amfa nyima to 2 years. We have the men. And so I'll be listening to my brother from the government side say the men that they claim that they have.
Sama, Mintio.
Asamu.
Asma speaker can well I know maybe the name say fear and panic anyway, but
yeah, to me, you know,
John, where we, one can answer.
To me, you know, I think the speaker Ekasa, or was say a share near Shakwan Befaswa, ye so I know, it's answer, Usho Mainuman Pa. That means we really need something that will support the nation. Eti, you live, you know, one in T, yeah, machine cost for mining. Because that is the only way we feel that the government is approaching so many scar or the Bayania maybe. Eti, speaker, some no Canada, if truly, say you do such stage in India, and the media, as a normal citizen, the Amame who sam, Pomine do, stage be a shaking or say a buano. Osamo cutting down expenditure. Spending na spending etoso. Makase sanitation ministry up to now me when you buy on because sanitation ministry at our side. But still, on my new fee. I bet to me create jobs a man crofo no my no musetia taxes, ninya taxes, ni still on my new fee. It's a man 40 we are paying them. Yeah, fuel on cars, baby on more offices, bills, any honky count, yen cut down spending no. No, my phone who so ampa stage I do no. O my ni mo edin. Na so my ni mo edin na stay me who say minister ko baby na V85 to aso a. Who ka chem so my ni mo edin ameti ase. Because you are fueling all this cars. But fueling ni nyina na who. You know, then all the bills will come on us. Me who bonia Ghana penifo ya. Omu security yet tied to the extent so okojo sebi okojo sokra or say police ni nyina nechi. Me who bonia wa ye oni wiase. I mean, nipo like, but during election time, no, Uma Sancrophone in your sign, Unqua Quam for no senior Mokasaya campaign. The same people are in your position, you are scared. Some will be you need full protection. And Untina will say you're spending so much on one person or by a Juma. No, my neighbor. It will say you're subsidizing Yama. No man for no to say no. The minister out Abaka say VAT in Yabium. Ebe ya yempe saluka bi maya na enra metie one of the stations I think MPP for presidential candidate the back cause I see those time uko Mugabe Kromwa aspirant. Oko Mugabe Kromuna. Omu use V8. No mu use Pijobi. Eno mu nyina eno kra no government car o. Do car be free fiaba. Oba wa be use government car opon wa be odi besi ho. No wa drive o personal car de akọ. Eso aban sisan ye no. Yes you obi ankofa V8. Na obekọ nipa ba ko fie V8 7 6 5 na si ho. Na o man so bre. Wo so kosoro. Muso abun create ne transportation means bi ama o man no. So nipa na adwuma na o ye no na ketua no mu na o te. E na o de fa car. Enu nti ma me create policy bi e be boa ne transportation. Na ono so sika so no. Yenye we mu nyina. So if speaker aba out no ko mo no mo ti o e bi o mu sika ma yampa. Omo de mba de nso mu bom he siska o man no ko because we su say for musika mbro mo musika mai. Enti omo de ama de ko omo de aba o ye sure so be kan de o kan yi. Obi adwin ne ho obi adwin de be ba ne pocket. Enu ni o man edu sisi a. Wo de amba o pocket a ofi say o say o kun oni aban kun. Unya o de pe no aka wono atum na unye wa edin. Obi anko pe ne de. You see so ye be pacho. Say yen cut down your spending as a nation. Ni ntumi nya capital mfanye the right things. Ye fanye niama na mfanye mpuntujuma. Yen pay juma ma youth. Na Ghana yen jai stage na. Ye juma from 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning till 4 or 5 ni upon yen running night shifts. Companies be brave. Private sectors minimum running night, day and night. Rubber factories say we go industrial area now. Some running day and night. But government sectors never say ye day and night. Na ye bo for yapon obi ko pen passport. Ye si director upon ye bo bebe 3-4 director upon okofie. Na the aka ni nyina say di go for next day. Nko pon ye na so obi so take over. No so ye hu adwuma. Because the more I print more for the more ye nya revenues. Passport forms ye ton. You see, eti amanfo obi nkotua connection man ya nje ne 500 cedi 1000 cedis indi. Because on him so the cost is acha by 2-3 days. Ne sabe Canada. Na discover mining but you spend this more than said ya me say Ghana ruling it is like normal Ghanaian life. Or spend this more than the salary. Who salary the whole man tell be na 2000. So would you salary that night na club ajibe de oh. Na kaka krebi. Na fe na obe squeezy. You know, we don't plan ahead. Say their citizens live your life. Some citizens live your life. No, sana penny for no so really your mind. No, say you spending in there you because you himself say ni baby ebe kwa patch o yesre mu. De bia ye na ekosre. De bia ye na kuta chance ekosra de. On say Ghana donation am man bi da. Ghana ntumi nya donation mo man bia so de bia de agi donation. Charities. Orphans. Ye na de bia o say ekosra ni ebedi. Enye nice. Enti yen cut down your spending. Niema sika ni ntumi bi adwuma ma amanfo ntumi nye na the more amanfo ye adwuma no the more ye benya revenues from taxes ni ho atoye make a cry no
me da say some mama call kwesi boju yeah
NS chemist na
na say wo kan me say NS chemist one room fee
Imafi no be
go can me say NS chemist
so catch no but because no nim say correct upon ade man
enya for ade
over kwesi me
enya for bia okay exam say dem
over kwesi me da say na
busy
first and foremost let me clear niam bi ansa na yeah on a focus a key statement about absenteeism na say MPs be cry absent. Please, where is your evidence? Who cannot go to Okujetu Ablakwa? Okujetu Ablakwa is the one who keeps record of MP. It is not Okujetu Ablakwa. And so sometimes when we come here, let us give some respect to listeners. Na ye more accurate. Oh, Pacho Kasana Mayedi. Oh, Kasana Mayedi. Oh, get your time. And you know, let us give some respect to Ghanaians and then and let's give them accurate information. Offer me consent. Yeah,
contrary information because something like fat.
This kind of debate is not healthy. Okay, so be a deal.
Let
me land. Offer, I'll give you that.
So, my information from Tuja. The present or otherwise of a minister, a public knowledge. The votes and proceedings of Parliament every day is published.
Thank you very much.
So you can check out I mean, MPs or mobile parliament.
Yeah,
those that are absent.
Yes.
And it's animal.
It is established, but I'm just saying, say, give us the records and stop quoting other people. Keep it. Of a make examination about e-levy. E-levy has now become a nightmare for NDC now. E-levy a nightmare. And a e-levy pan na ma yehu okrom I say hwehwe sasabron sam Ghana NDC for. Because Honorable Aruna Idrisu, the leader of the minority in parliament, on 2nd December 2021, that was last year, told Ghanaians say 1% e-levy is acceptable. John Ekasano, he made the same point, say e-levy 1.75 need there was through Nemum abiding the bar format taxes the UTR. But on one NDC for no, Aruna Idrisu Kroya on 27th January 2022. Just after some days, or cause 1% in good no some because 11 there armed robbery. A year to bottom. Oh, afu. And you know, sir, hypocrisy. And then, oh, of course, I think that if this happens, he's been unfair to me because you have your time. I was quiet. Afakwesi, until e-levy has proven to Ghanaians say NDC are the real wizards and the witches when it comes to the development of the nation. Because a visionary president, Abba, now say we shouldn't go doing la like my brother is saying here to beg this Britain Wood institutions or muma yesika fanya ya kwine, ema yesika fendidi. As eska no mo de maya mo fantia yen o mo de maya insi where da hono. John Nekasano, he made reference to Malam Kwine. So made the name Kaswa interchange now NDC 4 years, you know. It cost the Ghanaian taxpayer $170 million. Now, $170 million, you wins 11.7% to the funding institution, which is this Britain with the IMF and the Keka. 11.7% of the $170 million is about $24 million. This $24 million, no, put him the bet my okruma. As Anka says, Cano, as at that time, no, starts Cano, as at that time, no, Anka your internally generated fund, bit say levy. Any other fund days, our Kaswa Kwaya, Anka $24 million now, President John Dramani Mahama, net on him in Yakusia, Wajani Mamia, would tell me almost color Joma, you are sure. What 2 hours they ma buy no, or the Cotuansi home. If we say, or Kobo Bosia, and or the Baye. Kaswa Kwano. And the President Biaba and the President Biaba. No, say there be me. We cannot continue paying interest to our bro. We not the bia or mama of a question him say I am a full momo lending rate. No, on every $100 they give you, they take $10. That is how they borrow. On every $100 they take $10. And you know we cannot continue paying this high interest to our bro. President say let us build our own country. Let us put things together and let us fix our economy. What can not come about taxes? Say, introduce bola tax. And then they introduce condom tax. Sebi otafra champagne for menim ubu to pakra na NDC jihoto. NDC. That is how insensitive and wicked they can be. They introduce condom tax to the ordinary Ghanaians. How can they be such insensitive to Ghanaians? MPP yeba no. Na NDC did nuisance taxes be at Ghana for home offer. Ubeje December no kasi just 2 days ago. Finance offer. Just 2 days ago, Finance Minister has announced there's been a 30% decrease of benchmark value on general goods and 10% on vehicles. Just 2 days ago, Yaba Power, Yababe abolished the 17.5% VAT on real estate. Yaba Power, na NDC for the tax biaba. I friend 17.5% financial services. Ye train ya say, we are dreading nimba, uko breko swaka ya na unyeska, now the 1,000 Ghana echo to bank. Na afe upeso uko yu adia. 17.5 ni say, o the 1,000 Ghana ne kwa uko yu adia na bank ne beti 170 Ghana. Sana na 17.5% on financial services netie. Ghana for today mu asasa atama ye tuya tax, tuturi dinu tax ya nebu ya koimi. Na ye nya kanya ndem. Na kanya abo Ghana for se na Johnson abo akoko. Ye nya kanya ndem. uko bra na udu sika nia ko ma John Dramani mama by way of tax ube fie so anu abeda oshum ene me no ka say that one nia President Akufo-Addo ami atwam there is nothing like 17.5% on financial services biom udu sika 1,000 Ghana koto banka uko yi wadi a bank in 17.5 or modo 1,000 na bema. This is a mark of a good leader. This is a mark of a good leader. Na utina na kase ye buy no ya beje di taxes pi ye hu dia ye fa tax na de na say trouble akukura name twam instrument of akwesi e was say correcting and now issue disclaimer and say I say NDC buy no ma be expand adwuma to the extent say be expanded despite media. What kind of light is this? I mean we shouldn't try to play with the minds of Ghanaians and this more expand. You can go your argument, but it is untrue. Tell us the amount of money are we investing to despite media. Say, Mama be fair, Juma, you now so far when we came, we have established and improved 217 factories. On one wage I know you swear, baby, I person constituency chairman. No. I don't live in your constituency, but I'll tell you what is happening there. Okay. On Weja Junction, no, let us get this straight. At Weja Junction, government at the privatization of the there is Osia constructions at Weja Junction. You sit here and you that's a moment of mine never goes. If you don't want the country to move, what should we do? You are enemies of.
I say Abafra, Chesi Kwako Dusiro, and Zandi Jai. Kojo Dami Ado time echi. Freeman and I aboa social media. Kwesi aboagye nam di huchiame. Ye dia kwako gu na ochi. Enkwani ahode won ha. Praia si ubua. Ba ko pa agina babu. Kan nyina bom abu enye ye. Kwesi aboagye me ko.